Okay, good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. I think I'm live. Normally, you see a thing that comes up that gives you an indication. Yeah, I think I'm live. But yeah, guys, we're here to do a review. You guys see the banner at the end of the screen. Jamaica versus El Salvador. World Cup qualification, 1-1. A very, for me personally, a very unfortunate result for the Reggae Boyz. The second World Cup qualifying game in a row where, the consensus is that we should have won, but we didn't. We did not win the game. We drew 1-1. One of our better games, I must say, in quite a long time, to be honest with you. I mean, in terms of before the new coach came in, and the new coach being Paul Hall, he has now had two very good games as gaffer of the national A team and as coach of the national A team. He has had two very good games and a very good half as well against Peru. So things looking up, but it's the second game in a row where we are saying to ourselves, man, we really and truly should have won this particular football game. Guys, smash the like button. When you guys come in free and easy way to support the channel. And as always, man, hit me in the comment section and let me know what you think, man. Let me know what you think. Yeah, so in this particular live, we want to do a review and also a player ratings as well. I haven't done a player ratings in quite some time. I have not done a player ratings in quite some time. I haven't done a player ratings in quite some time. So that would be good as well. We're going to look at the stats of the players, right? And we're going to break it down and we're going to analyze it. And of course, you guys can, hit me in the comment section as always and let me know what you think. I need to get the calling thing, I need to sort out the calling thing, man. I need to sort out the calling thing so that you guys can, call into the show if you don't want to, jump onto the stream. So, all right, let's see. We'll see some comments coming in. Travis, Wagwan boss, big up. Thanks for being here. And also J Dice as well. Big up to you guys. Big up. Me know no for no want to talk about the Leon Bailey comments too, I don't really know if more want to talk about that, And I did a video earlier, right? And the video was entitled, what's the name of that video again? The video is entitled, Finally, a Coach Who Knows What the Hell to Do with Leon Bailey. And in that particular video, I was basically, saying that I don't really want to analyze those comments too much. Yes, J-Dice, they were important for sure. They were important, yes. I mean, there were big comments. And you know what's so crazy? I'm wondering if Leon Bailey made those comments to kind of probably take the pressure a little bit off the gaffer. Right? And when I say take the pressure off the gaffer, I mean, in terms of, I think the coach was kind of coming under a little bit of pressure for the comments he made on the commitment levels of some of the players, right? And I think a lot of people also unfairly jumped at the whole. A lot of people kind of jumped at it to say, oh, Gaffer Paul is talking about a certain sector of players. I think that's unfair because he was not asked about the likes of a Alvas Powell or a O'Neill Fisher or a Corey Burke. You know, Shamar Boza Nicholson is obviously in a peculiar situation, to say the least. Who else? Who else? There were a number of local born players that are usually in the team for World Cup qualification. Flemmer being another one who is not in it now. So we don't yes, he did allude to some players like Antonio, he wasn't pleased. But you know, I think it was just unfair to just jump at, oh, the gaffer is talking about UK born players. We really don't know. Or is only talking about them. You know, we don't know. But I think these comments kind of take the pressure off of the gaffer, so to speak, where that is concerned, because you know, people are saying, yo, people like it's like people are trying to imply that the JFF are a program parallel. Like said the JFF sets Obama and drop something in a morning tea when him there the hill when him there the Marriott, AC Marriott, and give him a script for reading at the press conference. No. You know, the gaffer was speaking his mind, but it kinda confirms what the gaffer is saying when Leon Bailey speaks about the attitude of the players. Right? And as I say, I don't want to really get into the comments too tough because we really and truly don't know what players he's talking about. We don't know if it's particular individuals. We don't. Some people are saying it might be the coach, Leon Bailey, the previous coach, head coach. Leon Bailey was talking about. Yeah, me agree, J Dice. Me agree. Me agree. Like, so me not really. I mean, we can't ignore it because it's the elephant in the room, J Dice, to be fair. And you know, I'll say this much before we get to the performance and the review, J Dice, because I'll say this much. As I said, I don't want to go too deep into it because to analyze the comments too deep would be just going into speculation, and me really and truly try to avoid, you know, especially on such sensitive matters. But I think when Paul Hall made the comments in the press conference, I don't think even he realized what he was starting to stir. I don't think him really did understand when he really did a stir in terms of how the fans would take it. I think he obviously definitely was thinking about the players and how they would take it. And I think it was kind of aimed at the players to say, yo, on a need for shape up. But in terms of the fans and the Jamaican local footballing fraternity, from coaches in the space and all of that stuff, but I think him did really understand when he made the comments how much or how controversial they would have been, right? But I think Leon Bale, you know, making these comments clearly shows that something is awry. There clearly seems to be an attitude problem. And as I said, I'm not going to analyze the comments deep because we really and truly don't want to speculate. We don't know who he's talking about. We don't know who the comments are aimed at. Some people are even suggesting it could be aimed at the previous head coach. So we really and truly don't know. But guys, big up Jamaican Guna. Big up Phil Jones. Oh, go on, boss. Oh, go on. Boy, we there a whole a reasoning about the ball game in a brethren. We there a whole a reasoning about the ball game. Phil Jones, I'm wondering if you're a Manchester United supporter. Because I've never really me never really hear nobody say, "Oh, Phil Jones are them baller." Is it that your real name is Phil Jones, but you just have your profile picture as the Manchester United Phil Jones, or are you a Phil Jones supporter? Right. So that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. Jada said not to stir nothing, but I believe those players not in the camp. Whoa, whoa, Jada. So what a revelation, my boss. What a revelation. Yo, Jamaican Guna, where are you with, sir? You know, so me love analyze the post game ball game when you jump. I don't know if you have time, jump on. If you have time and you want a whole of reasoning, just tell myself to drop the link and me drop the link and you jump on. Because it's always a good discussion reasoning the post game analysis with Guna. So if you have time and you want to jump on, just jump on and make me know. Seen? But our real name Philip Jones. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, me did kind of figure say, oh, that was it. Smash the like button, guys. Free and easy way to support. Dre Nick, big up, boss. You make the talk I night last night in a Virgin. Virgin, me I write down the quote in a Virgin. Which part of the quote there? When Dre Nick say, yo, Damian Lowe for knock too long ball in and half topper. At the quote of the week that in a Virgin. People at the quote of the week that Damian Lowe for knock too long ball in honor of Theodore Tapa Whitmore. All right. So make a whole a reason about the game last night. Seeing, very good game, very entertaining game, and especially it would be very entertaining from the perspective that it was a very positive game for us. Seeing, we created a number of chances, and we have always had a problem with the progression of the football into the final third. Seen, and really and truly in this particular game, we made a lot of progress where that is concerned. We made a lot of progress where progression of the football into the final third was concerned. I think what was so crazy about these two last games, the Costa Rica and the El Salvador game, really and truly gave us a real idea as to the quality of Paul Hall, and I'll explain. The last game against Costa Rica, we saw where it was a case where Costa Rica sat into a mid to low block and made it difficult for us to break them down. Seen? Now, in this particular game, it was the opposite. El Salvador did a lot of high pressing. And initially in the first half, especially in probably like a good 10-minute period after our initial period of dominance, it kind of was giving us some problems or some cause for concern in terms of, how we weren't really progressing the ball past the El Salvadorian initial line of pressure, the high line, that intense, front press. But then especially in the second half, we really and truly handled the El Salvadorian front press very well. Now, a number of people were saying with the Costa Rica game that, Costa Rica never high press we, so we can't really rail about the performance. El Salvador high pressed us, and we still balled. So I think these two games, that the Costa Rica and the El Salvador game, really and truly gave us an idea of, hey, whether a team sits in a mid to low block or whether a team high presses us, Paul Hall is capable of getting the team playing some decent and rolling some decent leather. Seen? So that was kind of on my mind earlier. The mere fact that I think these two last games in the World Cup qualification have been really good from that perspective in terms of giving Reggae Boyz fans confidence that whether a team sits in a mid to low block or whether a team high presses us under this current regime, under this current coach, he has the tools or he has the knowledge or he has the expertise to be able to handle those respective scenarios. So yeah, we did well right throughout the game. The first half was a bit of a battle, so to speak. We had a period of dominance. Then El Salvador kind of had a bit of an extended period where they really and truly, had the upper hand. And then for the rest of the first half, it was like a battle for to take control of the game, so to speak. And there was a point in time where it was even getting kind of a bit scrappy. And both teams were kind of turning over the ball a little bit too much for my liking, etc., etc. Right? I think Ravel Morrison really, for me, the two best players in the first half was Ravel Morrison and my boy from Cavaliers. What's his name again? What you from Cavaliers' name again? Richard King. Richard King and Ravel Morrison really did well in that first half. Seen? And by the way, more have to talk about the JPL too, in terms of what do we think about JPL players? Do they have the quality? Do JPL players have the quality to perform at the international level consistently? We're going to get to that a little bit as well. But wonder who Bailey attack. Bailey, my thing is Bailey can't just come out and say something like that. Man, you can't, like, you have to expound on something like that. Like when they say something like that, you have to expound on it, man. Sure, it cause too much problems when you just kind of be vague like that. But yeah, back to the point. I thought Richard King and Ravel Morrison really did well in that first half. I think Bailey did okay, right? I think he did okay. I think in the first half, his role was a little bit different from in the second half. There was tweaks made to his role in the second half to be able to get the best out of Leon Bailey. And who else? Speedy was his usual steady self right throughout the game. And we're gonna look at the player ratings as well, and we're gonna look at the statistics of the players as well. As I've said on a number of occasions, Green was atrocious in the first half. Daniel Green was atrocious in the first half, but boy, the youth step up in the second half. I have to give youth him props, man. Have to give the youth him props. Who else? Gray. Whenever Gray featured in this game, only one time Gray put a foot wrong. One time Gray put a foot wrong. And that was when he obviously got the chance and he missed, I would send him in behind again. I think it was Ravel. I think him and Ravel did have some good link-up play. And Ravel got in behind. And Gray got in behind as well. But he skied the sitter. But apart from that, he did very well. He was more involved in the second half than in the first, but almost every time he got on the ball, he did something really, really positive. We saw in the first half where he would drop deep, hold up the play, turn, and send wingers, especially Leon Bailey, making runs in behind. I think that El Salvador's keeper, El Salvador were kind of playing a bit of a high line because they were front pressing us. And I think El Salvador's keeper really played that sweeper keeper role very good. Very, very, very good. Green try I think almost got a goal for his debut. Yeah, man. Yo, Green was good. Green was good. In the second half, that is. In the second, it was just a yo. By the way, we have to talk about this too, Paul Hall. Is that a sign in terms of Green's performance in the second half? Is that a sign that Paul Hall is really good at knowing what to say to players at halftime to really and truly get them to, get a tune out of them, so to speak? Because for see how Green sets up and played so poorly in the first half, right? At that point in time, he was playing so poorly that I said to myself, say, yo, that youth are really not good. He not good. That you like me just write him off immediately. That's how poor he was. See? But the youth really and truly step up in the second half. Is that a testament to, because more than likely Paul says something to him at halftime. Because him role never really changed, It's not like Bailey. You see Bailey role changed. There was a tweak in the second half in Bailey's role. For me personally, Green role never really changed. It remained the same, right? But you saw a dramatic improvement in his performance. So, I think that is telling us that, Paula really and truly, is a good motivational coach and is a good coach that can really know what to say to a player to really, get him in the space that he needs to be able to get a tune out of the player. Right? Who else? Who else we need to talk about? Greg Lay. Yo, Greg Lay never really. I've seen better games and better performances from Greg Lay. I've seen better games and better performances from Greg Lay. But I think, especially in the first half, I think he was severely limited because of the lack of quality from Green. Green never did work with him at all, so I think it really affected his performance. But he had some good moments, especially in the second half, Greg Lay. He had some good moments. But all in all, I can't really say nobody play badly, to be honest with you. I can't really say nobody play badly, to be honest with you. Seeing the substitutes, I never really, by the way, Paula sub was good too. We're gonna talk about that in a J. We're gonna talk about that. Because initially me never too happy about the substitutes, especially two. All right, let me tell you the substitutes when they really have an issue. See, I don't think Green should have come off. Because, all right, I understand from the perspective that Paul Hall wants to take a look at players. But my whole thing was that John Star, we can win that game, yeah. Forget about taking a look at players. Make the right changes to set a bomb and win this game. I don't think Green should have come off when he did, if we were really serious, if the main focus was really winning the game. But credit to Paul Hall. His replacement came on and held his own. So I don't know if Paul Hall see something where Paul Hall say, yo, that youth can do a job for me. And then even if Green came off, I said to myself, yo, why not put on Lamar Walker? Why Bygrave? But Bygrave showed that him can hold him on with him very first touch. Right? Good hold up and link up play, right, to break the midfield line for the goal that was scored. So Bygrave came on and really held his own. And the other sub I had an issue with was, I said to myself, so why take off Speedy when Speedy was playing such an integral role right before he came off in terms of helping us to control the game and really go for this victory. Right? But credit to Paul Hall again. His substitute Howell came on, and yes, it wasn't a long window, right? He didn't play a lot of minutes, but credit to Howell Howell came on and had some very good touches. Right? Howell came on and had some brilliant touches, had like 3-4 touches in the game, and they were just very good touches that showed some real class on the football scene. So initially I was not happy about the substitutions, but credit to Paul Hall, the substitutes come on and them named the two bad. Them named the two bad. Boss, what go on? Good while when a link in a man. How do you it, sir? Enjoying the show, Formula. Great listening. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, Taylor. Gonna share the video and get the numbers up. Cool. Much appreciated, Taylor. Much appreciated. Taylor, I know you use a man who like talk the ball game, you know. You want me drop the link, the link and you jump on. If you want to jump on the show, you know, you can just make me know. See? I might soon drop the link to anyways. Mr. Special Edition Green is going to be a star and is going to get better. Green made the goalkeeper work last night. Yeah, because remember, even before the header, man, him did have a good shot on goal too, you know. That kind of put the keeper under a little bit of pressure. Never caught it as good as I think he would have liked, but still got enough on it to make the keeper work. He's gonna be a star though, Mr. Special Edition. Boy, I've been ready for Richard King is going to be a star. I'm ready for me that they thought that. I am ready to proclaim that Richard King is going to be a star. But for jump and say after the little performance from Daniel Green, make you calm down, guys. Make you calm down. Let me drop the link. How good I wanna hear from Taylor, you know. By the way, Taylor, me I go do that video there too, you know. With that info the way they send me about, you know. Me not forget about it, you know, bro. I've been a little bit busy in recent times. If I realize I haven't even really been doing that many videos in recent times. Just because, you know, say, we have to really and truly talk about what is taking place right now. Special edition says star. Yeah, but so the JPL players impressed me though. Even though I kind of noticed that Bygrave did I get a little bit leggy towards the end. Talk to the JPL players about them fitness already, you know. The JPL players do not have the required fitness for international football, you know. Even when them have the quality, I notice sometimes that the fitness not there, right? If the environment that they're in is not facilitating them having the necessary fitness to be able to cope with the pace of play at the international level, man, them need to do some work on them own and take them career into them own hands. You can't have substitute a step on the pitch and bust Virgin. You're a substitute Virgin. Right? Oh, you boss already, Virgin. and when I say it, like to me, anyways, it appeared as if he was getting a little bit leggy. Because I remember Al Gray was kind of screaming towards the end, and I say, yo, oh, me not have no help in the press. I can't understand Bailey not helping him. But Gray and Bygrave stand up and I look upon him as if, boy, Virgin, I can't have no more in a Virgin. See, yeah, man, Taylor, cool. No problem, man, no problem. But yeah, but the JPL players, though, overall, I must confess that they did hold their own, to be fair. Yeah, the JPL players, they held their own, to be fair. They really did. Albeit against tired legs, most of them are substitutes, except for Green. I don't know, JPL players, let us talk about that a little bit. I personally don't think on a consistent basis there are enough good players in the JPL that can really have an impact for us at the international level. I think King is starting to show that he's a real quality player. But before King, the last player I saw make a move directly from the JPL into the national team was Kemar Lawrence. And in terms of make that move and look comfortable, was Kemar Lawrence, right? That was the last player before King. So I have seen enough local players play for the senior team and not be impressed. But I'm wondering to myself, is it a case where Paul Hall can be the difference? Is it a case where the JPL players are really good enough to hold their own at the international level, but poor coaching did not facilitate that? Because to be fair, under the previous regime, most of the players them weren't. Look at all the top players them named did really a spark under the Tapa regime, right? It's not a coincidence that Bailey's first game with Paul Hall as the gaffer, Bailey starred. It is not a coincidence. So my thing is that, is it a case where I'm asking myself the question. By the way, smash the like button, guys. Free and easy way to support. Free. Just click the like, man. Simple thing, man. But me not asking for not much. Me never yet asked for a super chat. Notice that, guys, I have never asked for a super chat because I feel say, if I feel inclined for drop a super chat, then me nah issues and me appreciate it. But me personally, me not gonna ask for a super chat. But what I will ask for you guys to do for us is to like the video because it's free and it's also easy. But so that's my thing. Even top players like a Ravel Morrison never really performed under the previous coach. So is it a case that Paul Hall can be the difference to let the JPL players look like they're ready for the international level? And then there's also the other, may I go rope in Taylor now, but there's also the other aspect to it where we see quite a bit of JPL players making transfers overseas to overseas clubs in decent leagues at best and not really cut it. Paris are tear up Slovenia now. But when Paris initially went to Slovenia, don't forget that Paris did flop, Paris spent about a year in Slovenia, get some decent development at Domzale. And then he moved to the second division and started lighting it up. But initially when he went there, he was receiving no joy. So, I don't know, like, I don't know what to think about the JPL players, to be honest with you. Talbot went to Portugal, never gone with nothing. Never even make a match day squad. And that are the Portuguese third division. Seeing Christo J. Daly, I think he make a match day squad the other day, so that's good on his part. Who else? Who else? Many people are talking about McGee as well and his lack of involvement in Belgium. Peter McGregor, Biggs is in Slovenia, although to be fair, Biggs never moved from the JPL. But me no know. Me no know. I'm just waiting to see, how the JPL players look in the national setup going forward under the new gaffer. With that being said, boss, good while on a link.
Bless up yourself, Formula. Cheers. I'm drinking water tonight, so you know the energy I'm coming on. I'm coming on to have a healthy discussion.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, you always, even when you drink your wine, you always the discussion always healthy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I hear
Wine
you.
good for you.
Yeah, man. I hear you touch on a lot of points. And for me, I only can find pluses from the game last night. To be
Yeah.
honest, from where we are coming from, Formula. And to be honest, I saw a lot of the things that we've been asking for happening last night, like Jamaica keeping the football on the ground. Um, 1 minute and 49 seconds in the game. I remember saying this to Ryan on his channel. I say, Ryan, Jamaica has improved. And the man say, yo, Taylor, you can't say that, brother, 1 minute gone of the game. The only thing I needed to see, because this is how I look at football. You know what I needed to see is when Jamaica lost the ball, the players didn't run off and go try get behind the ball for go tackle. We kept 3 players to press immediately. You notice that we Jamaicans, the players just stood their ground and locked in the El Salvador players, where El Salvador was figuring out how to get out in the first half, where Jamaica had them trapped early. So I saw that immediately. I said, yes, Paul Hall now is implementing the triangle press as to where you have 3 players around the ball. And if you win back position, your player has 2 options to pass the ball and 1-2 and get out of trouble. We weren't doing that under the previous head coach. We would lose the football and 10 man run, go back, go defend, and give the team a whole bunch of space to build up and reset and attack us. That wasn't happening last night. At one point, El Salvador actually tried to increase their tempo to match our tempo. In the end of the second half, they tried to speed up their passes because they realized that Jamaica was pressing them very hard. But overall, I felt the same
They
way about,
injected some new players into it as well, to some substitutes
yeah.
to
You know,
help with yeah,
El
to
Salvador
inject
is one
some
of the
life.
players, is one of the teams that I hate to watch play because
Why?
they take the life out of the game. They know how to do that by
Yeah,
falling down
that's
on the
true.
ground. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
disrupt the flow of the
yeah,
game,
yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah,
makes the game very scrappy. All right, the
yeah.
player, the player Green, I felt the same way about him first half. But also said to Ryan on the show, I said, Ryan, there's something about this player now. Him look very twitchy. Like he's a player where will give you a special moment out of nothing. And I was considering that potentially this is what Paul Hall saw out of him in training while he started the game. There's something playing in your background, Formula.
No, I'm not
No,
playing on my background. You hear something like
it's go-
some.
gone. Yeah, it's
I don't
gone
know
now.
where I'm going. All right, gone.
It's gone
By
now.
the way,
Yeah, it's
sorry
gone.
to cut you, sorry to cut you, Taylor. Talawa, welcome and welcome. Big up and thanks for being here. Me not forget about you, Crystal. Me not forget about you. We have much to discuss, man. I've just been, if you notice in recent times, I haven't been doing a lot of videos, right? Like this is probably just the third video I've done in like weeks. So
Yeah.
I've been a little bit busy, but me not forget about you, Crystal. We have much to discuss. And also, as a military guna in the house, big
Yeah.
up military, big up. There's a feedback. Boy, I don't know what
It's
go on
gone now. It's
military.
gone now. It's gone
It's
now.
gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Me not know. It happened to me. No, Crystal, not like that, man. Not like that, man. Yeah, but
Yeah.
big up to the other vloggers in the house. Crystal, you did I watch along last night?
Yeah.
Don't forget to
Yeah.
check over your
Yeah, man.
Facebook
Yeah,
page as
yeah, and
well.
Crystal chop it up later, Formula. Cause when me come on me at the floor.
Cool,
Football.
cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
you,
yeah,
boss.
yeah,
Got you,
yeah,
got you.
yeah. The game, the player Green, I said to
Mm.
Ryan, I said, this player, he has a little twitch about him. Where for me it was anxiety the first half. His performance the first half was based on him being anxious. He wanted to get the football back from the opponent so quickly, and the El Salvador team realized that he was a young player, and they just set the trap and put their body between the ball, and he ran into them a lot. He did
Yeah,
that a lot first half. But Paul Hall showed us that he's a real coach who can have a discussion halftime and has his team come back out looking differently. And I have to give him credit for that. The team came back second half and looked like, okay, guys, let's calm down now. Uh, Javane Brown, Javane Brown needs competition at the right back position. He hasn't owned that position. He cannot control the ball. He looked like he was overweight last night. He came back in. Look at he didn't
he
look
never
ready.
look that bad. No,
Yeah,
Taylor, me can't agree. That little too harsh. That
yeah, man.
little too harsh.
Javane Brown was actually the worst player out there last night for Jamaica.
No, me can't. But I him provide the assist to the goal, Taylor.
Listen, all a
That
mad,
little too harsh.
listen, all a madman right sometime, you know that. It's just how life goes. He actually made a cross, but he got a lot of crosses wrong as well, where players
All
ran in
right.
the box.
Taylor, here's the thing. I think overall his performance was good, except the crossing was a bit inconsistent, right?
No, he
But
couldn't control the ball either, Formula. His
no,
ball
me can't
controlling
agree
was
with that. No, Taylor, me
Formula. I
not
watch
agree
the
with
game today again. He was terrible.
that.
I'm telling you, when you slow it down and watch it again, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, Javian Brown actually look like him ahead for the bench shortly."
No, that too harsh, Taylor. That too. But what I will say though about Brown, I'm not too concerned about the crossing last night because crossing is actually his strong
His
point when
strong
you watch
point.
him in the MLS. Remember that cross to Andre Gray down in Honduras, that Andre laid off to O'Neal Fisher and Fisher, slotted it home. So, I'm not too worried about the crossing to be honest.
Yeah.
But I do agree. Every player needs solid competition. That's for sure.
He needs
That's for sure.
competition there. And guys, I hear a lot of people saying Greg Lee didn't play a certain way last night. People didn't have to understand. Greg Lee played according to the formation of how Paul Hall wanted to run things through Leon Bailey and the attack. So he had Greg Lee slotting back more and had Richard King stepping up into the midfield more because he saw that Richard King wasn't afraid to go forward. So he didn't want his two wing backs flying down the pitch and leaving the back line exposed. So Greg Lee didn't have the freedom last night to run down the flank as much. He started doing it in the second half. And you notice in the second half, Richard King's duties diminished because
Yeah, that's fair. That's
that's what
fair.
Paul Hall did the first half. He let Richard King got the reign and had Greg Lee is basically a safety net. If the defense is out of shape, he slides in with Damian Lowe and still have a solid back three. So that's why I think Greg Lee look a bit more he wasn't really out there last night. So Greg Lee actually was a role player last night for Jamaica. He actually had more defensive duty duties last night. So what I was saying, formula is another thing. This corp, I like that. I like that interview Leon Bailey did. Leon Bailey came out today and basically said what a lot of us felt, that players who felt like they were there already had a lot of ego. And for a player like Leon Bailey who got a 30 million pound contract and can still come in and humble himself and play, we don't want to see some people who are coming off of the bench in the USL are coming to that team and come give no more trouble. We're done with them formula. The fans now need to, as I said, the fans need to hold the gate now and say any player coming into this Jamaican team has to be better than the players we have now. Any other player entering this setup needs to be better than everybody we have right now. Formula. We cannot have a thing where fans are calling for players coming off the bench in the USL. It doesn't add up. It's two different leagues. The USL, as I said, is similar to the JPL. The USL is just more money you're getting paid and a
Me
little bit
not
more
agree with that. Me
organized.
think the USL is way better than the JPL.
Well,
Me think so.
yeah,
Me
but
personally think so. Remember,
mm,
Peter Lee, what's the day I light up the JPL, and I
yeah.
walk past players for Harborview, and now, I mean, last season he was a bencher.
But that
Even though,
wasn't
to be honest, he never play too badly.
the thing is this. Sometimes we don't blame the players. A lot of players don't make that next step. A lot of time we don't blame the players. The players, you see, even I don't think Javian Brown put in a lot of work on his off season, and I said that last night. The most important time for our sports for our athlete is your off season. What you do in your off
True,
season.
true.
Formula, you can't live a Burger King and show up preseason where players like Cristiano Ronaldo and them man take off season. They're already
Yeah.
in preseason shape before they come into preseason, so you're automatically behind. So looking at Javian Brown last night, I realized he didn't do the work his off season for me.
To be fair, Taylor, to be fair, you do have a point. He did look, and I did notice it. He did look a little. He never. I wouldn't say him look out of shape. He never look out of shape, but he looked not as in shape as I've seen him previously.
Yes,
To be
yes,
fair,
yeah,
to be
yeah,
fair, to be
yeah.
fair,
And
and to your point, Kobe Bryant, man. When other players, they are Europe on vacation in a man. Him they are Staples Center in a man.
A
And
shoot.
he always said that I'm a talent,
Talent. You
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 know?
can't have Kobe Bryant a shoot 1 million free throws on him all season, and you come in at the regular season can think you can drop 50 like Kobe. You cannot. You haven't put in the work. And a
Mm.
lot of players need to understand that your off season. I keep lamenting that your off season is key if you want to make the next step and come into the preseason ahead of a lot of other players. When you come into camp, you're already in shape. Bygraves, he came on. I love his first touch, but he run out of steam after 10 minutes. So he automatically know that he has homework to do automatically. This is not the JPL where you sit, you run and stop and wait to get the ball. International football, it doesn't stop. It does all if you play against the worst team. The worst team you're playing for is their best players. And they're there to win. You know what I mean? So by Graves though, I like what Paul Hall said as well. If you're not committed, stay home, bro. We don't want to be on YouTube arguing about who is committed. I will work with the players we have right now, Formula. And as me say, if we are going to add more players, they need to be better than what we have right now.
Yeah. You know, we're gonna rope Shavan in a conversation. Big up G. I just want to say yo, it kinda every time I hear Paula speak, he uses the word commitment. And with every passing press conference, he looks more, his body language and his tone seems to be a bit more annoyed
Yeah.
when the word commitment is coming out of his mouth. And then to hear Leon Bailey do this interview now and address the attitude of players, it can't be a coincidence. Something is seriously wrong.
No, it's not wrong
Shavan.
anymore, bro. It's not wrong. I think Paul Hall. No, listen. Even last night, I think Paul Hall said to Leon Bailey, "Listen, Leon Bailey, you're one of the best footballers Jamaica has produced. This is your team. I need you to go out there, and the field is yours. Play like the Leon Bailey we know. You're supposed to." Leon Bailey looked brave last night. Leon Bailey looked like he was ready to take on the game if for
He
him
looked
wanna play for
free.
Jamaica. He
He looked free.
yeah, he looked like a player that the coach talked to and instill some confidence in and say, listen, I got your back. I don't feel like these personal conversation might have been happening before. And I feel like Leon Bailey looked like he's ready to represent Jamaica. He just looked aggressive. He looked like he wanted it more than everybody else. Ravel Morrison. May have so much respect for Ravel Morrison and Andre Gray. Andre Gray wasn't treated well under the previous head coach, but Andre Gray stuck around and he's showing his class. And anybody we are coming, both of them can't just come from Russia, come take Andre game like this. We can't support that, guys. We need people who are committed and are putting in the work for Jamaica. When every time we call, these guys should be rewarded when they're good enough because Andre Gray is good enough to set up that
Yeah,
run off the striker
yeah. I
1-2.
I have a lot of time for Andre Gray. He has from day one he was one of my favorite reggae boys, but as time
Yeah.
progresses, he's becoming more of a favorite reggae boy for me personally. I want us to we're gonna rope in Shavan right now, but I want us to talk a little bit. You know, after Shavan makes his comments, I want us to talk a little bit about the role of a Leon Bailey because me personally, I saw a tweak to Bailey's role in the second half. And I think that was just brilliant and it really sparked life into the player. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit later on as well. Shavan, bro, where are you, man?
Oh man. JT, from what they try to link up on WhatsApp, but look like a phone I get problem, G.
Yeah, the man. I saw people tell you when them not call you know. Your phone, I get problems. Yeah, I feel phone, I get problems.
But yeah, formula from last night, I want to link you still. Cause me, you said Javian Brown to you get man of the match, and
No, Shavan. Lawsuit and defamation of character fly around these days in a bus. You can't come from here and say them things about my virgin. That's not true, Bridget. When you hear me say that.
No man, you did say one time Javi and Brown could have get man I match Ravel
No,
or
sir.
Bailey.
I can't recall.
Well,
Me no
problem
recall
missing,
that,
but
Bridget.
me hear they say yo Javi and deserve high props for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know. JT, you know them man in your community where them play ball every week
Yeah.
and they might just do a one thing, but you say to yourself, oh, that brother there, oh, him always I find that one. You always have that one man
Mhm.
where you know him
Yeah.
not good enough. And him play, when him a play, I flip and I say, yo, that brother here play so retarded. Him butt the ball weird, him control the ball weird. Every time him touch the ball, he come like him a drop.
Yeah. Him look very Alvas Powell-esque at one point.
I swear to God. The only what save Javian Brown when me think why Paul when me think Paul never take him off because of the assist.
Yeah, no.
Honestly, him Javian Brown never look like himself, him look. And me realize something as well. Cause King, now the first half it show it. Cause remember Formula they say it before the match. Him not too impressed, him not really too impressed with King. And I can understand why Formula would have said that. Now the first half when El Salvador the pressure over backline. Every time King get the ball and El Salvador push up on defense, him look shaky and nervous. Every time him go in a tight spot, him look shaky and nervous. More times,
Siobhan, may I let you continue? Formula, you remember it was on your show that I put my neck out there on the line and said that Richard King is one of the best young talent out of Jamaica. You remember that discussion as a defender?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Continue, Siobhan.
yeah, him at one point in time, maybe I say, yo, King kind of, because even the corner will give up, what led up to the corner was King really giving away the ball. I don't know if you
The,
remember that part.
the goal.
Yeah, the corner that they got,
Yes, that's true. That is true. Yeah, I think I
King
remember
was
that.
the one that really gave
Yeah,
up the ball, and the ball
yeah.
went back in the box, and it led to
But
the
but
corner.
but Shavan, to be fair to him, doing a whole heap of time, he was pressed in on him. That's where El
No,
Salvador
me
and
know,
behind.
but as a matter of fact, I say El Salvador is not that team. Remember, our ambition is not just to qualify for the World Cup, It's to
But
compete in the World Cup.
true.
That is
But
our ambition.
El Salvador, to be fair, has provided some decent competition in the qualifiers. They might not be winning because they lack the quality in the end product. But to be fair to them hold them on in the qualifiers for the most part. I one game when I say El Salvador really and truly was just annihilated. And that was when them did go Beamer field and play Canada. Canada run over them in like the first 20 minutes.
And Formula, El Salvador has played more football than Jamaica in the last 2 years.
True.
Yeah.
Because they
True.
even made it to the Gold Cup to some kind of way where they had to play some qualifiers and somebody got, I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
what happened. So
Yeah,
they played a
yeah.
So they
lot of
had the more
football.
camaraderie. They had the
Yeah,
more
them beat.
camaraderie
I
as the
think them
other
did beat
team.
Guatemala in the final of the playoffs.
Yeah,
Because I watched that game.
The weakness
Um,
that I think Richard King has, though, is defending set pieces. He has to get
Mm,
better with his positioning because you have the height already.
yeah.
And it's not only him, Javian Brown as well. I'm watching these guys. Every time a set piece, Javian Brown, his position is not right. The player he's marking the player in a way formula where as soon as the player break off of him, by the time him turn around, that the head of the net already.
yeah,
You
that's
you
true.
need
'Cause even
enough.
the goal was score.
Mm,
Honestly, the only Jamaican me can remember jumping was a Jamaican where they had the near post.
yeah.
When the ball come
Mariapa
across,
is weak. Mariapa has a weakness in that area as well.
yeah, the only thing I remember I see beer blue shirt a jump when the corner come across. I mean, I feel say like I can't understand. El Salvador is their personals are usually short. The shortest
Mm,
defender that we had was Mariapa,
yeah.
and they out jumped us on numerous occasions. They out jumped us on
No, but
corners.
Siobhan, you see, in football, it's not about height
Height,
necessarily
I know,
winning
no, I know,
No.
headers,
But when I said the person,
Height age though.
It's time in
the
your
it
run.
helps. It helps.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
Um,
still, I mean, you
Brother,
hear
your sound,
persons,
yo, drink a Red Bull or something, cause your sound like you know come to talk football, brother. Your sound
brother,
drain out. Talk,
make Formula
get
tell you from the from I
get
wish
it
and from the
rolling.
Mexico game on Formula.
From the Mexico game, man, you're not too chirpy, man.
Yeah,
From the
no man, no
Mexico
man.
game,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
In
Siobhan,
a recover fully.
if you watch that game last night and you're not encouraged, bro, me not really know what can
No, from
encourage.
the Costa Rica game, I was encouraged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Despite the loss from the
remember, you
Costa
know,
Rica game.
remember, you know, Taylor, the man fall in such a deep state of depression in a brethren. Right?
Yeah.
Forget yourself out of that in a brethren. It's deep in a
JT,
brethren.
remember, we know win the game, From the qualifier start, we know win a game away yard, Think
It's
about it.
okay.
We
It's
haven't won
okay,
a
man.
game at our home in World Cup qualifying in about 10 years.
It's okay though, guys. It's sometimes I believe that listen, sometimes you have to destroy everything for build. What I'm saying is, bro, the core players that Jamaica have right now, the foundation, a lot of Caribbean teams would die to have this foundation to build
I
from.
know.
We have to look at the positive. And last night, bro, the Jamaica team looked like we didn't have any problem being on the football. We weren't like when we head tech when we get the football and we just make a long kick. Last night, play
Yeah.
like, okay, this is what Paul Hall ran through with us in training. This is where I need to be. I saw players showing
They
up.
had purpose. They had
I saw
purpose,
that.
Taylor. They knew what to do when they got the ball
Me
immediately.
not lie still.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping I would get to see Zimenez. I know Formula was opposed to it, but I was
You will
hoping I
see
would
him
get.
though.
You will
I
get
was
his
You
hoping
will
I'd
stride,
get to
see
man.
him
see
before
Zimenez
the
because honestly,
qualifiers end.
based on how Zimenez played, I think if he was even introduced in the final 10 minutes of the game, the El Salvador on the left side of the defense would have under. Because you realize now the last part of the game, El Salvador never in the game.
Yeah.
And if you put on a man like Zimenez, because remember, most of Javier Brown's attacking prowess is going down the flank. Zimenez can go down the flank and he can cut inside.
But Siobhan, we no feel so people are learning and understand. Say, listen, brother. Even with Javier Brown playing at a higher level than Jimenez, when he came into the national team, you can see that the game was still a step ahead of him. So imagine Jimenez coming out of schoolboy football and the JPL. International football is not a walking thing, brother.
No,
He's
I
gonna have
know
to
that,
adapt as well.
But but to be fair though, Taylor, I mean Green looked decent in the circumstances, Bygrave looked decent except for the fact that bus quick. So I get what Siobhan is saying.
Let me ask you a question, family. I want to see how much you was observing Green. What would you say was one of the characteristics you saw from Green that he took in from the JPL?
One of the characteristics
Yeah,
in
would you?
in
Yeah, or
in
that would maybe look like a deficiency for the player in the bigger league.
oh deficiency. In terms of the type of player that he is, I am wondering if he has the technical ability to pull that off on the international level.
Okay.
I don't know if that's fair.
I think he has the technical ability. The thing that I saw, and it can be taught, his anticipation. He showed me how JPL players play. They stop, they
Iman,
run and
Iman
stop.
Bygrave.
Yeah, they run and
Iman
stop,
Bygrave.
and then
For real.
like you get the ball, and the rest of your team have the ball, and you remove yourself from the game. He has to learn that international
I don't
football,
think
you're
Yeah,
always in the
true,
game.
I
true.
don't think it's really
Yeah.
that alone, JT, because all right, what I would say pertain to the especially to Bygrave, when he came on, the whole up play that he did was good, but throughout the rest of the match, you know that thing what them call the off the ball movement,
Yeah.
the future they're not. I don't think he was able to even read the game for say, all right then, if I make this run could have been a dummy run if you even get somebody else open.
Yeah.
Every single
Them
run
not
we
really
make,
understand the game,
Wh- wh-
Shavan,
Which
and
which
the
which high
importance
school
of
in
it.
Jamaica, Formula and Siobhan, would you say is one of the top high school when it comes to academics?
Champion.
College.
And which high school you would say is probably the poorest?
In terms, I don't know that question they hard to answer.
Question that very me nah go send a school come no nobody come see me and come bust me.
All right, let's say one school name, Standpipe.
No man, I call standpipe ever hype. Nah man, big up
I
standpipe.
don't know the school.
Big up standpipe. That's all I can say.
One school name. One school name. Host. One school. Yeah, one fictional school.
Yes, yeah, Bakabush School. Bakabush
one
High.
school name Bakabush. And you take
Bakabush High.
you take a sixth grader from Bakabush and you can't go a champion. Brother.
Yeah,
come like a university team there. So you have to understand, say, by grades and those guys, we cannot expect them to come in and adapt to international football like that. So I will more temper my observation on a player like that because he's gonna have to learn the game. That's what's happening to Juna Flemings in France. You know, you left the USL, but you're now in a environment where them look at JPL
professional
strategy.
Football.
If start a game, that no work anymore. Now we're dealing with monitors.
make a rope in Kappa in a conversation, and then more and talk a little bit about the JPL, and then we'll move on. Kappa, where are you, boss?
Yeah, man. Big up Formula. Big up the members of the panel. You know? Still I keep up with the channel, man. Although you know, me come on more, but I don't know the book. I know the time until we have February to do.
Yeah.
Family. But watch the game last night, man. I realized I finally see a system of play. But come on, how many substitutions are available to? 5? Still 5?
Yeah. From me understand, yeah.
We think you would make some more substitutions.
All that too. So is it that's a good point in a Kappa? Is it a fair point to say Paul was looking at players?
Well,
or probably he was trying to strike a balance, between looking at players but not changing up things too much.
And what I said to you, I figure based on what I've been hearing, I don't know who it is, that Bailey and Ravel might not play the Canada game. I guess he wanted to give.
I think Bailey might not.
Full 90. Give those players a full 90. It was good to see Green from the JPL. And to me, he didn't have a good first half, but in the second half, he came into his own. And as the brethren said a while ago, leaving the JPL and coming to international football, it's not an easy transition, You could see where, as a player coming into the international football, there's more for him to learn. You understand? And me, I say, we have to encourage the ball of them to try and play well, and left the JPL, because when you go overseas, trust me, it's a different level. Based on where football right now, it's a totally different level. When you talk to players who leave Jamaica and go overseas go play, you realize what we are doing at Jamaica, we're there behind. But a good result still, and we could have scored more goals. And as I said, I want to see what them look like against a high pressing team. Well, El Salvador is usually a ball possessing team, So they gave us a good competition, and I watched that Costa Rica Canada game, and I tell you, the way I see Canada put on the ball, I wonder if, remember, some of us were saying that Costa Rica not good. Remember? Some man did say Costa Rica all and this and that, and right now, they want to pick up on my foot.
Costa Rica not good, in my opinion.
They're not really that good.
They're ready.
Kappa.
Kappa, the difference in a Kappa is the quality of CONCACAF, the other CONCACAF teams good. That's the difference. Costa Rica is, remember, we outplay Costa Rica everywhere.
Let me tell you with Costa Rica. You see, Costa Rica is because they're a very well organized team, right? Very well organized team, and what they did in the middle of the qualifiers was realize Borges and Ruiz, them starting for them wasn't working out too well for them. So they injected some young guns out of them Costa Rican league and start them in the game, and then bring the likes of Brian Ruiz on in the second half. Yeah. So it they run hard as well because of that, and it it improved the engine in midfield. Right. So, but to be fair, They're very well organized, both in defense and offense. But a whole heap of smash and grab them do too. A luck and they're especially in defense. It's kind of difficult to penetrate them defensively.
Yeah,
Because
because they defended with 10 man behind the ball.
I want to say the game with Canada, and I wonder how Canada score now.
Hmm.
And when I say playing Canada now, it is going to be a very good test to see how well some of our local players adapt, not just to the Canadian team itself, but the weather. I mean, I take all that into account, you know. Canada
Yeah, yeah.
need to win that game, you know. And right now, I feel so them probably gonna want to put you in a ice box up there, you
My thing with Costa Rica is this. I always worry when I hear Jamaican fans saying Costa Rica no good because actually they are better than us technically. You know what I mean? They have more points. We it's like me homeless and see a man with a house on me and say, watch him now, not over me. Like it doesn't really make sense, really. So for me, I
True.
No,
think
JT. All right, the reason why I said that is not based off comparing to us, because I would say that we are not. Those
Yeah.
games we weren't good enough. I'm just comparing on a football term. If that Costa Rica were to play a different team now, wouldn't it be a different challenge for them?
you can't doubt them. You see, Costa Rica. Costa Rica has something that a lot of teams doesn't have, which is experience, bro.
Yes,
All the
yeah,
Costa
that's true.
Rican players are campaigners who they've seen this movie before. That's why they let Jamaica control the game the first half and they took the points. That's how Costa Rica play now. Costa Rica no compete with it the whole game, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And they have players to your point, Taylor, they have players that know what it takes to get to the World Cup because they have done it before.
Yeah. Whenever time Jamaica play Costa Rica, I say Ruiz, come on, I say Jesus Christ, a 1-0 for we. Every
Yeah.
time I see that brother there, him just look like a walking 1-0.
know. Because
But
But
Kappa, you never
JT,
finished though. Go through. Kappa never finished
Sorry,
though,
oh,
the thing
Kappa.
is, the thing is with Costa Rica, Costa Rica know when to do the right thing at the right time, you know. So at the right full
Virgin.
person, them now got tit for tat for the full 90, you know. Them know what
no,
them other man.
no
But
Virgin.
man.
If me did have my gavel, Virgin. Virgin, I hit your nail on the head with that thought there, Virgin.
yeah, man.
Trust
But
me. Trust me.
when me do that say still, me figure saying when I make some more changes. But then again, it work. You understand? It work. But as me say, me want to see what go on Sunday. I'll see how well we can manage the high pressing and the ball playing Canadian team. Not a weather there.
Him Kappa, the why I wouldn't agree with him making more changes is this is what fans are forgetting. It wasn't a practice match, and we're building. We're seeing players, but we're building, and you cannot build a team by making a mass
Midfield change.
substitution. It will disrupt everything we are trying to accomplish. So
Yeah.
what I think Paul Hall is doing is he's looking for players that he think are like for likes and
That's
see
a good point.
who's gonna
Yeah.
win that spot. I think, and then you keep the core on the pitch. One thing that we're looking past is, bro, we have to start understanding that Speedy Williams is not the answer. Speedy Williams, I keep telling
yeah.
people,
Speedy it again.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
they
no, no,
can't
no,
use
no, no,
Speedy,
no, no, no,
someone.
no, no. Formula, me come and talk football. If Speedy
I
do
think
well,
the
this
team
is
going forward.
Taylor,
The team
Taylor,
going forward.
Taylor, we are bridging in a Taylor.
no Formula.
Taylor, we are
But you know,
bridging
so you
Taylor
know
like
me
you
chop
want
it
me and
straight.
you fight Taylor.
No, 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 Formula. You love Jamaica too much. I mean, know that you love the side too much. We know, say, listen, we are talking about what's right for the side. We can
Speedy
agree
can't
that
play defensive
Speedy.
mid formula, man.
We can have.
What Rajan now? What Raj? Oh, God. One, two, no, man.
See the
On
people.
the done
Listen.
no ratings for Speedy.
No, I know that Formula. Listen to this. We can all agree that Speedy is one of the most improved players
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Jamaican national
Exactly.
True.
team.
Facts. Yeah.
However, Speedy limits us where he puts our defenders under pressure by making that safe pass very quickly. I keep telling you that he jams up the defender, and a lot of them long ball where you see Damian Lowe used to have a kick out long. It's because Speedy put him under pressure, and he doesn't have the calmness to slow down the game. So Speedy put him under pressure, and him just goes so woof, one big kick out. Last night, what Paul Hall did was he brought Ravel back almost in a right back position, where when Speedy was limited, he had Ravel dictate the game from deeper. However,
Yeah.
I wanted to see Ravel higher up the pitch because the past 5 games against Derby with Derby County, Ravel has been on fire, and it's because he's
Yeah.
playing higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
However, for Ravel to venture up the pitch, Speedy cannot be on the field. And that may I try to say to you, it doesn't work.
Me
I
no
would
No,
even
defensive
but
try.
midfielder.
somebody mentioned the name earlier, that is really a player that we need to look at, and that is my boy there, Orlando City. What name?
Joey
Desert,
Desert, yeah.
you
You see,
know.
I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon of any more of these players because Javane Brown was one of the hottest topics on YouTube at one point, and I think he's thinking up the
Look,
joint. He's thinking up the joint now.
no, Taylor, you
Formula,
go bad, Taylor,
He's
formula.
you
thinking
go
up the joint.
bad,
He
Bridget.
never formula. Me no
You
know.
go to
When
Chavan and Taylor, me and our brethren are gonna make a fight,
no, remember saying
physical
we can have
fight.
disagreements,
Nah, joke me,
But
but
alright, so just like
we
how
not
most
style
people
the
would say
ball
Andre
now.
Blake. Me would say how most people would say Andre Blake deserve a whole heap of blame for the national team. That and me would say if I never for Andre Blake, we wouldn't be in a situation over there right now.
True.
Even have some points on the board. But now we're gonna always have disagreements.
No,
Now
man, if I
my
never
honest
Andre Blake, we wouldn't lose so much games. Andre Blake is becoming benchable, bro. Are you not watching the game, Shamar? Siobhan? Andre
no man.
Andre Blake is getting slow off his think about this. Andre Blake is the MVP of the MLS, and you weren't moved to a top club
Hold on. Alright. It
ever.
goes back to what I always say formula. Formula, remember I always used to say about Blake.
Yeah,
You know that for Jamaica win,
yeah,
what
win.
happened?
Blake have to be man of the match.
You know the reason why?
That a under topper.
It's a
Yeah, but
different
most of the
regime.
games, that's why I say people will
Barnes
bash
need to
Blake
get a
itself.
run out, though, Barnes we need to take a look on
Barnes need
Barnes.
for play. Honestly, Barnes need for play.
Yeah.
But
I'm telling you, bro.
when me hear the way people kill Andre Blake, me not think it worth it. Me not think him deserve all of the blame. Because you can't have a goalkeeper face so much pressure.
No, you're not looking, Shavan. The goals that are being scored on Andre Blake. This was Andre Blake's strong point that I used to love about him as a goalkeeper. He wasn't afraid to come off his line and take corners. And
Yeah,
take down
that's
the ball
true.
before. He doesn't do that anymore. He sits on
That's
his
true.
line, and our team is not defending well against these set pieces, and they score. It's happening, bro. Go back and watch all the games. So I'm saying if Dylan Barnes come and show us that he's ready to pluck the ball out of the air, it'll go help with defenders, take some pressure off our defenders. I'm saying I don't know what's happening, if it's the goalkeeper coach and them three coach that we Paul having at the back room. Me never like them
Needful.
face. Me never like how them face look when Paul Hall do the interview. Them look like them a develop bad mind slowly. Paul Hall need to start figure out how to get it. Because I spot everything, Me never like that look there. Because Jamaica, we know when bad minds start grow up on people, Me never really like that look there. Me never really like them three bread that
Alright.
stand up behind Paul.
Alright,
Me
you see the
never
Fox
like
are the same backroom staff from the previous regime. I think I agree with JT in saying that the backroom staff should have changed because of the same regime. Really and truly, me hear people for our family. Remember when that other individual was relieved of his position?
Such man, yeah.
That other individual himself for sure respect. So when I go say that, so that other individual persons were saying, yeah man, and remember what they always saying, people. The only thing that has changed is the coach. Nothing else no change. Same
But
board, same
Chavan,
president, same backroom staff, same
yeah, but to
everything.
be fair, no, I can't agree with
Me not
that,
agree with
Chavan.
that neither. Me not agree with that.
Yeah, because I think Paul Hall is real. The crazy thing about Paul Hall,
No, me
Paul
not talk
Hall,
about the on-field.
no, me not talk
play.
about Anfield either. But Chavan, what me I saying is that Paul Hall is assuming a role like what name man we usually coach US man, the German.
Klinsmann.
Klinsmann.
Klinsmann. He's assuming a role that Klinsmann used to do for the US, where he's very hands-on in everything. Look at the amount of press conferences that he's taking place. Look at the
No, that's
amount
what
of
I feel.
press
All right.
conferences.
What me I
He
say,
barely alluded to it in a Chavan.
Yeah,
Said
that's
things have
true.
changed,
My youth, Siobhan, one of the big thing where I miss is this. I think the players out there right now, them look like them sign up to play for Jamaica right now. Under Paul Hall. I saw a team yesterday that looked like Paul Hall had a talk with them and say, yo, you ever watch a show when them go a war and them say, who a fight with me after the man make the emotional speech, and one man put up his hand say me, and then one next one say me. I saw the team look yesterday. It looked like the man them say, yo, here we dump off the man them, we are get trouble. And we are gonna take that thing forward. That's some
Alright,
feel, bro. That's what I'm seeing from the team yesterday.
I'm
We
not
look like
lie.
some
A
guys
while
who are
ago,
coming.
JT said that the first thing come to my mind when that individual did say more players were fight for you.
Well, them did really a fight for him. Bro,
Anyway.
Paul Hall is a before the last point on this formula is this. I said it that Paul Hall couldn't just come in and dash a top up player them like that. Paul Hall did this thing so smart where Paul Hall made sure he gave all of them a chance to prove how terrible they were. He gave them a chance. He gave them a chance again. No, the man never just fling them away. He made them show the fans that listen, it's not me. I'm not cut out for this. And that's what Paul Hall had one. You see the backroom staff after them a 3 game, yeah? Cause you can't have a backroom staff where.
So them next year.
No, yeah, man. Them a come, but the Paul Hall deal with it in a increments. So you see me? So them a come after that 3. They're gonna see some man disappear because they're not adding anything to this thing. They're just.
Alright, no more ask. I know say only officially signed for your club. Well, I think I saw some him sign for a club. Is he getting games?
He's at Minnesota.
Is he getting games?
Minnesota United, yeah.
Yeah, well, we're gone again.
Is he gone? Is he gone to get? Is he? He might get game.
Getting? So honestly, I forget to check up on Fisher.
Formula. May I ask you a question? How this?
Checking up on Low and my boy, what name?
JT. You me I say. We not get rid of every single Jamaican. Cause suppose Fisher decide to turn the next Daniel Alves now. We are gonna want him back.
Brother, suppose God come tomorrow. Suppose God come tomorrow. Where you go? Heaven or hell? Listen, brother, you can't live your life off of suppose. You live your life off of show me who you are. Me tell you who you is.
Yeah, that's true. But here me I say, but JT, you know what troll me a troll. So nobody you know what troll me a troll.
Fisher them now go wake up tomorrow and just miraculously become good, bro. Like
or semi good.
That's it, bro. Just that ship the seal, brother. We need you to lock in Siobhan and any player me here at about. You if you tell me about some player where me not see it, I me not know yet. Me no want hear I say so warm to if I can lose weight. If we come back next week.
Oh,
them thing, brother.
Wait, formula. No, me, I don't even when them say Aka play good, no, me tell us I don't want to see him on my side.
But Aka not play good.
No, man, remember when I tell them say Aka play good now when I match them, I feel say, brother,
that's true.
He ship seal already.
No, man, for a troll. The player, I'm gonna say the only player what me kind of upset me never see play yesterday was Ziminis, and the reason is not because it's not because of JC man, it's not because I play me I look forward to. You see where Javian Brown was playing that right wing back position, based on how Mrs. Ziminis play again, we only see him play the JPL and Manning Cup, but me the life you see that explosiveness. That because as I say, when Mr. Javian go forward, he mainly go forward and run down the line. With Ziminis, he play and interchange. 1 minute I see him go down the line, next minute I see him cut inside, and him can shoot from far. That is the main reason why I say. And Javian Brown to me never have a good game. And if a player is not having a good game, you change him.
That's a one change, but I think after.
The media thing, even the last 10 minutes or so, where El Salvador can clearly say El Salvador was against it, put on Ziminis. If I even put on the fresh legs, just to see, because I know Ziminis and laying down the flank would have give them left back problem. I know if you fuck it would have
Siobhan, most top head coaches, one of the things they did, one of the areas on the pitch where they don't like to tweak if they don't have to is your defense.
Yeah,
because that will throw off everything. If you can't just salvage a result, you don't just take out your center back.
You
and
don't
just
want to take the
bring.
risk there.
You can't just do that. And the thing is, you can have Jimenez come out there, and what happened to Green the first half, where adrenaline takes over and him start running out of position. And
Yeah, yeah.
so you have to be cautious in how you breed these young players. The great thing for Jimenez is he's in the national setup. Let's
All
just take it a step at a time.
mm-hmm. All right, may I agree with that, Taylor. All right, more of a touch quickly on the JPL, right? I'm gonna ask every individual panelist, starting with Kappa. Um, JPL players, what do you think about their place in the national team? You think JPL? You think the standard of the JPL as a whole is producing or is capable or can produce players that can cut it at an international level?
Yes, but not on a large scale.
Not on a consistent basis.
No, not a whole lot. But yeah.
Every now and again, I mean players like a Boza, who go overseas from the JPL, I mean directly from the JPL to the national team. You think that players who make a move directly from the JPL? Because remember, Boza go Slovenia and Belgium and get whole heap of development, Paris go Slovenia and get a whole heap of development, right? Of course, a Chang right now, I go Denmark and him go get a whole heap of development. Seeing so directly from the JPL to the national team. Yes, you think that any of them can you say consistently, but you think any of them can really break through from the JPL directly into the national team?
Yeah, man. I believe so. But while I said that though, I still believe that the JFL as a league is is not at the level that I'd expect it to be. And where football is going globally right now, I would encourage any JPL player who is getting an opportunity to play at a higher level. Once the level is higher than the JPL, that they go for it. Because I don't believe that, for instance, where football is going now, the centre halves have to be able to be ball playing centre half. You get me I say? And we can see where Paul kind of lean towards that. We want them players to be able to hold on to the football and make a pass. Even if they see them is to tackle and win the ball, he should be able to not just make a back pass, a safe pass, back and side, but he can at least make a forward pass, a sensible forward pass. Yeah, man, I believe that one and two players in the JPL are capable and should be given the chance. I
Cool,
don't know if that answers
cool,
the question.
cool. Shavan, directly from the JPL to the national team, right? You think that these players can make an impact for the Reggae Boys on the international level?
Honestly, hold on, cheering a pass. Go to JT. Two
All
answer.
right.
Yeah, so my
But
kind of
Shavan, me not hear it though.
yeah, man, the man I run a
You know
train,
hear it
man.
now.
Just
Really?
barely. Yeah, man,
I
the
lie, the
training,
headphone good then, man.
that one the silent man. The
Nah,
train the
man, the
silent
loud
man.
man of the headphone. Because the headphone now pick it up properly.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
All right.
So
As I
when
may say now, watching the JPL and seeing the way the players play, as what my boys just said a while ago, you can have a few, but I think one of the biggest issues with JPL players, it's that it's football is not their. They don't play football basically. They're not playing football throughout the day.
Yeah.
So the
they're not
development,
professionals.
yeah, their development is hindering, especially for the younger ones. So it'll be difficult because me kind of get for understand so Zimin is still even go school. Nothing wrong with that still, But I mean, if you play for a professional club at his age, it should be fully committed to a professional club. Where you're training in the morning, you're training at the midday, or you're training at the afternoon. So, because remember that is your job, but I know our circumstances in Jamaica don't really allow for that, so which I can't bash him for. But I think the development is really killing our players. Because, as I said, some simple things I'm going to say players miscontrolling ball, players even the long ball. I don't know why we love play long ball, and 6 out of the 10 long ball that we might play, them don't go up on target. So the fundamentals is something I'm say lacking in the JPL.
Fitness.
Fitness, stamina, and
I
the
never
next
yet
thing
see a substitute boss. But I never yet see a substitute boss. But I can't ever recall seeing a man
That's
come. I not talk a substitute where like a injury in the 10th minute, you know. Me talk
I'm not
about
even like say
will come on in the last 15 minutes.
it's not even like said him a playing at the boiling at sun neither. Him a playing at the cool temperature.
Yeah.
So that is kind of puzzling as well. I don't understand the as I said, the players I know the players probably not train as much. So fitness would be an issue. And you can see it in the JPL games. In the last few minutes of JPL game, the players them look weak, they look lethargic. Them shots them look weak. When them a pass the ball, you can see like them a struggle because and them I said them are professional, but when they meet up on actual professionals and JT from the other day, I want to say something and coming to me now and nobody really bash me or really criticize me in another way there.
Yeah.
Why
Tell
is
me
it
I'm
that
a
no
said
say
fake, you know. Tell me I'm a
when
said fake, I
when
know.
when our clubs them can't do well in the Caribbean or even make it to the CONCACAF Champions League? That itself shows it, you know.
Oh man. Everything will go good, man. Let me just break it down for you know, quick and sharp. 'Cause part of my point come from where Kappa said. I think where the question is leading to is this is what people need to understand. Guys, we don't need the entire JPL. We need 2 players at a time out of the JPL. And how we should do this is if there's one player like Bygrave who is over 25 and he's having a light out season, you give him an opportunity to come in and show his stuff. But if we're recruiting from the JPL, it has to be players that can be taught. Young players, you find the 2 like the Pearson and the young man Zimenez.
Teenagers.
Yeah, and now
Teenagers to be specific.
because they're at the pivotal point. This is where we lose our talent. 17 to 20. Now Paul Hall, who is a developer of youth, Paul Hall just comes to the JPL and we say, you see them Tulka youth there? And then so the coach say, yeah man, them just turned 17. Give me them. Rope in. Let me see what we can do with them. If them not cut it, ship them off to the USL, to the graveyard. Them go so go dead. Start again. I saw you deal with it, brother. You go for the 2 young players each time, or you bring them in. We don't have to have this. No, yeah, we don't need to have this mass. We don't have to have this mass expectation at the JPL. With me, people I say, yo, the JPL players them now go cut it. Brother, we're not asking for 20 players from the JPL.
All right, Taylor. All right. My sentiments are similar to yours, you know. But me look at it like differently. I think that as soon as a teenager emerges in our JPL, we need to ship him out. I when I say ship him out, I mean ship him out overseas. So if it's
Europe.
like but if it's like a Zimenez now, a boss as a 16-year-old, send him go South America. No sit down and say talk about say him a 16, so him not qualified
no
as a non-EU national.
And may I really disagree, Formula. May I really disagree, but may I disagree. You see, young players, you have to know the region that you're gonna ship them off to.
So what's wrong with South America?
No, I'm not saying South America. You don't want to ship off all the players them to Slovenia because a lot of them will end up in the abyss. A lot of them will they might play against someone where you play for them dinner down at some place, brother. You can't just send your player them down there and hope that them come back good. Someone come back without all foot.
No, all right, no, Taylor. All right, let me show you why I disagree now, Taylor. Let me show you why I understand your point, though, you know, and it's a fair point. But I'm going to show you why I disagree. Initially, I never get to idea, but I get where I say now. My thing is that the clubs, when a club buy, like for instance, a Shamar Nicholson, right? When Domzale buy a 18-year-old Shamar Nicholson, right? Them say a 18-year-old who is the leading goal scorer in a first division, albeit the Jamaican Premier League, but they see a player that has tremendous potential. They see, you see them selling leagues there, that them do. Them scouts as a league like Slovenia, their main focus is to be a premier selling league for the leagues like the Eredivisie, the Belgian Pro League, the Austrian Bundesliga, etc., right? Because the Eredivisie is like the big selling league for the next level. So the Eredivisie, the Austrian Bundesliga, and the Belgian Pro League are like the top selling leagues for the next level, the top 5 leagues in Europe. You know, England, Spain, Germany, you name it. But leagues like Slovenia now are feeding the Austrian Bundesliga, feeding the Belgian Pro League. So it is in their best interest to get players like a Shamar Nicholson ready, because that is how for them bread, that are for them main bread. Selling a Shamar Nicholson for €2 million.
And formula,
ensure.
and I always hear when Jamaicans say, yo, we should send these players off to Europe. Like the people who take Europe for a puppy show football thing. Like a man just score some goal in JPL and we send him go to Europe.
No, but
like you always hear it though, right?
All right, Taylor. All right, Taylor. All right, I heard something about the when pertaining to Richard King, that the club where he was at, like there was interest from him overseas.
Yeah.
And it was the coach of that team telling the player, no, wait for a better opportunity.
I agree as well.
And I was like, all right then. If it's really a fool, because remember the thing with him this about Atkinson as well. And honestly, from that day there, it come like Minus Atkinson play a good football match from that interview there. I don't know if it killed Atkinson or Atkinson really did just want opportunity to go overseas. But the same thing with Richard King. Minister, I don't know the club with him did really interesting, but I feel say like the longer Richard King stay in Jamaica, is the less time I think him have.
Siobhan.
But Taylor, Paul all alone can't do it, you know, and the rest. Let me tell you so. We were on the live the other day with Andrew Edwards. Seen? And this brother I talk about in Europe, they are using ballet. Them are use ballet. You know ballet where they mean the little tutu them are. They are using ballet to help develop players in Europe. That's the sort of innovation that is taking place. Where what them do, them use the ballet to develop the players' muscle memory, where their balance and dexterity is concerned. Them thing they now go. Virgin, first of all, no coach in a Jamaica now look on the ball and tell him about a ballet.
Brother, when people go tell Jamaican people say ballet, them say, which one of them a dancer? Where dancer?
Virgin,
ballet, brother.
Virgin, you see a player in the Jamaican environment, a coach look on him and tell him about ballet, Virgin. A good year some gunshot start fire.
Yeah, man, so many of them dancing thing there, brother. I mean, want just up in a tights.
And you know when the Jamaica, many have not said just up in a tights, but then can do ballet in their football gear. See? But what me I say is, when you know how Jamaicans stay when them go in a different sort of environments, they're more willing.
Yeah.
Him probably not go on draft in Ghana, Slovenia, but when they tell him about ballet, but when in there Jamaica, you don't know me at all, you don't know the mentality.
Yeah, because you might tell him ballet at Jamaica and a man laugh and say, what you want to put on ballet shoes? But when him go over to and realize everybody around him do it, we adapt and support.
So when me I said what Taylor is that Paul all alone can't do it. Paul all is the only one that knows about world-class football development. Seen? And also the players, the main reason, you know, the players need to be challenged, you know. That's a big criteria in development, you know. It's like, for instance, the youth at Dortmund. When name again, man, the 16-year-old scored where them couldn't wait for getting the the squad at Dortmund. What name, man?
Him play for
Youngest
England.
goal scorer in a Bundesliga.
England him come from?
No, man. Him come from Africa, man. What name? Mokoku or something like that. I don't remember him name off the top of my head, man. But
One
him
of them
scored the
name there.
goal.
If Africa him come
Yeah.
from, him name probably something close to that.
Him scored the goal. Him scored the goal in a against Hertha Berlin. I think it was to be the youngest goal scorer in the Bundesliga history. Now with him, every level he kept on moving up a level. Because he was 15, when Dortmund named him a part of their first team squad, They were dying for him to turn 16. Because the thing about it is that every time he went up a level, in no time, he conquered that level. And as soon as him conquer that level, them have to move him up immediately to a higher level. The only reason why he stayed at the U23 level, I think it was so long, was because in Europe to go pro as an EU national, you have to hit 16. And he never hit 16 as yet. The point I'm making though is that as soon as them conquer the JPL level, you want to move them up to a higher level immediately. The more time them spend in the JPL, they're going to be wasting precious time and wasting that precious developmental window. So you want to challenge them. So as soon as them conquer JPL, move them up to the Slovenian first division to challenge them, to aid and to facilitate their development.
And this is why I disagree with that. Because any player could have a good season. I want to see how much you can do it over and over again. Consistency. And you don't want to keep shipping off your players to leagues where when them get bench and get dropped, when them they play again, Waterhouse. You don't want that to happen, Formula. You want when you ship players overseas, if they drop out of a league, there's even a league on the same level or a little bit below par, and they're still overseas. How many USL players you saw came back home and played in Jamaica?
But the
It happens
USL
all the
different
time.
though, Shavan. The USL different.
No, but
Slovenia, like a league like Slovenia.
I ship off that too, I still ship off,
All right, but a league like Slovenia is more willing to work with a young player that they deem to have potential.
So
That,
do it again, Formula. Do it for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and then I can say to because Richard King, we have a gem on our hands here.
True.
And I don't think the coach should just say, okay, them call you, go on. You need to make sure this player end up in a place that's going to enhance his abilities, give him proper playing time, and his development is not trapped in a selling player. Because one thing missy people miss out when they don't understand clubs that sell players a lot. Even Tyreek McGee, where Tyreek McGee is. You see, clubs that sell players a lot, there are people who are paying money to make sure their player is playing to get seen. And when a Jamaican go over there, so the Jamaican has to just get sold on pure performance and talent. But it's not a fair playing field because even if he's playing better than someone Formula, he might rub off the bench because he doesn't have a man. It's like an artist career. He don't have a man appeared the different places to get the player where he needs to go. So you need to have a place where you send your player and say, all right, Richard King, I don't want to see Richard King end up any and anywhere, bro. I think they need to be cautious with where
Yeah,
this
me
young
agree.
man end up.
Me not argue against that, Taylor. Me
Yeah.
agree 100%. You have to find the right environment.
Yeah.
But when we look at a Kahim Paris, when we look at a Boza, these are two of the best Jamaican-born players we have produced in quite some time. And I see the similarity of them being blooded into the JPL as teenagers and getting moves out of Jamaica very speedily. Even Paris never make it a Domzale initially, but the development that he would have received being in that professional environment, them were a perfect example. Peter McGregor. It's not a coincidence that Peter McGregor ball Dumby Olin when he went to Sweden, the club in Sweden, immediately as he got there, they said to him, look, and it was reported. They actually spoke on this. A representative from the club said this, that we are doing a lot of work with him individually. So he's not training with the team. We're doing a lot of work with him individually from a technical standpoint because he is behind. So it's not a coincidence that the ball land back in the J, even though it never work out for him in Sweden, you know. Him land back in the JPL and look like a star because he over Sweden, I do ballet scene, and I do
Yeah,
all of
sure,
them
man.
things that were aid him development.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a multiple perspectives to
If
look
you
at.
say if you have a good player, formula, it, one season, now go, I would say deter that player from reaching his goals. And you see, one thing where we're not putting on our players is this as well. Formula. You're gonna become good at football based on the amount of work you put in for yourself. You see, as a player, you have to set goals each season. If your weakness last season was covering players or you were getting caught out of position, you see, your off season, or you now need to say, oh, how may I go adjust this? Because
True.
you're trying to get to a complete player. And a lot of Jamaican players, brother, them salad 2 man, and we say, yo, are the are the maddest thing me ever see. You see, when him reach a USL, bench, can't play. And you hear people say him still if he come back in at the side. And that's what I'm trying to say. Players need to take up on themselves and say, formula. What was
Yeah,
my weakness last season? Look at Busy
yeah,
Atkinson. I'm a big fan of Busy Atkinson. He had a great season last year. Where is he now? He looked like he not even know what going out there. He look like him. So that tells me that it's not just that the player is not getting a contract. It tells me that he didn't improve. He didn't improve his game. Who's that? Whose responsibility is that, formula, to improve? That's not your coach responsibility, mate. Your coach can set you up to succeed when you're doing the right things. But if you out there and you are digress, that's why I'm saying that Javian Brown came in that game last night looking worse than he was before, previously. And he has to be careful because you have another young player like Zimenez chopping at this heel and ready to come in and take his spot. So Javian Brown, if he look on himself and say, you know what? I probably wasted my off season. I'm out of shape. I need to do the work myself and get back to where I need to be. We can't just say ship them off because them are going running at some wicked roadblock. Same thing. I keep going back to Jonah Flemings. You remember how happy we say Jonah Flemings, they are France second division. Flemings have some bench for rub off over there. So you see, Jonah Flemings have some bench for rub off over there, so brother. Cause you know what? A spaceship him in and now. Him come out of one of them like a tuk the way them have a Asia. Now him hop in a spaceship. Him not even know where the seat belt there. Him not even know where the seat belt there. Now that I tell a brother. So because if he didn't do the work formula and say, okay, I'm going to France. I'm getting ready for this. Number one, my awareness has to be better. All them things there. It go set him back 3 years. Because by the time him catch up with players where have him same speed and is more technically aware than him, how am I go pass them, formula? How is he gonna pass them to then get to the first team and then play?
a pair teenager I'm a play with right now.
Age is not your friend in a sport. You see, every year start click on one youth where my time playing in Denmark, right? Second division. Some youth are coming with them I bring up from the youth program. I do the same thing with them I do, where you are do, and he's 17. Who you think them I go
Yeah,
choose? Who you think them I go choose?
yeah, because there's greater upside, more money to be made.
I'm
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
put
yeah,
in,
yeah.
have to really put in the work, learn
You have to,
fast.
you have to put in the work, man. So let them. I give players 2 seasons. If you're showing me that you're consistent for 2 seasons and your statistics are consistent, no, we should start thinking about moving you.
Yeah,
It's like moving somebody out of a house and putting them on them own, and they've never worked before, they never pay a bills before. How are they gonna survive? So you have to get these players to 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 show us that listen, I can handle myself when I step up, when I step out the house and I get into a bigger league, which is the real world. And I think a lot of these players, Richard King, to me, he still needs this year in JPL he needs this year and to be consistent while improving in the national program. And next year now the coach can sit down with another head coach and said, this player is a player and I need guarantees from you. Will this player be competing for a
Yeah,
starting job? Will my
yeah,
player be stuck in the reserve team of a second division USL team? I don't even know if
yeah,
they have a second division USL, but I'm just saying. So it has to be, there has to be a thought behind it. You can't just ship off with talent. Matter about like if you want to ship off the whole of the youth, play them like for a man in cup and them thing there. I mean, I have no problem with that. If they're not gems, can't ship them anyway. Man, them go make some money. But matter about like our players like Pearson, um, Atkinson, and King and those guys, and Green, let them get it right, and then we start trying to sell them.
yeah. All right. I want to touch. By the way, Rajan, we now go get another question up on screen, my boss, because that are just speculation, betcha. We have no clue. No
We're
clue the
going,
man
we're
at all.
going past that. We're going
Time
past that.
pass.
Yeah, we not, and that are just a bag of drama and arms out, so we not really want to get in a scene. Like the baller was very vague with his comments. So yeah. Um all right. What I want to touch on though, yo, the same baller, perfect segue. Leon Bailey, first game for Paul Hall as the gaffer. Can't be a coincidence that in his first game for Paul Hall, Leon Bailey balled. Can't be a coincidence. Taylor,
Uh,
what do you think about Leon Bailey performance?
Leon Bailey said it in his interview. When I kick with the ball out of the stadium, basically, it's simple. The last head coach, his thing was, you remember one ball game where we have a Jamaican named Kick and Run?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that was Jamaica's identity under the last head coach, Kick and Run. Remember we were watching the ladies play, and the coach on the sideline, like she said, show it to like she said, show it to Emily and make she swing it in. Bro, which formation is that in football? Like which set play is that? We we show it to Emily and tell her if you swing it in. Like what, swing it in where? What's happening? Like what going on this a while ago? So that's what I'm trying to say to you is the previous head coach cannot coach a player like Leon Bailey, who's been coached by world class coaches week in and week out.
Yeah, some of the
You,
best minds in football.
you know what I mean? It's like you come, you run a Fortune 500 company formula, and you go back to your community, and a man will sit down at one corner shop we never do nothing yet. I tell formula say, yo, brother, if you want to turn up, increase profits, your net your net profit, this is how you should run the company. So it's like it's like, mate, get a job, bro. Get a job first. Like
Yeah,
you're not really doing anything, dog. You don't know how this works. So that happened with Leon Bailey. I think Leon Bailey, I promise you, formula, and maybe this come out at some point. Paul Hall hinted in his first press conference. What did he say? He says, I have a plan for Leon Bailey.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can't have a 30 million pound player on your team and he's not an intricate part of your team. It doesn't make sense. The player value is there. It's 30 something million pound. You see me I say? And you have Leon Bailey and you have someone where you get $5 a game, $5 in a them league, and a them man they we are look pan like a them a go save we. No, Leon Bailey. Plays need to be ran through Leon Bailey. The problem with Leon Bailey at Aston Villa is what I said. When Steven Gerrard played at Liverpool, everything came to Gerrard in the middle. So you see, when Coutinho came in at Aston Villa, it was a good and a bad for Leon Bailey because it now changed the way how Aston Villa attack. They're no longer attacking down the flanks as
Plan.
much. They're attacking to
no,
Coutinho. No, they're
but
going to Coutinho down the
yeah,
middle
but
now.
Taylor, to be fair, even in his days at Rangers,
Yeah.
he always played like that, with the width coming from the fullbacks and not the wingers. It's a good thing for Bailey because even I remember I remember Leon when in the Gerrard regime in his first starts for Gerrard, the first two games, one against West Ham and one against I think it was Southampton, he was trash,
Mm.
right? But the third game now, that start where he started against Crystal Palace, he did very well. And in that particular game, you really saw what Gerard was all about with the tuck team wingers,
Did they
right?
have Catino as yet?
No, they didn't. They didn't have Coutinho at that point. So even before
Yeah,
Coutinho, they were doing that, but they were using Bailey to do it.
yeah.
But now they're using Coutinho as the
Yeah.
main. Like, so they're playing the same way, but it's just that everything is running through Coutinho.
So that's what I'm saying. So what it does
Mm.
is, and I see at Aston Villa, the wingers are getting the ball much later. They're getting the ball on the edge of the 18 when they're in the final third of
Yeah.
the. And when you do that,
And that good
it's
for Bailey.
I don't think so because Bailey needs space. I think defenders will close it down easier because there's not much space left. You're in their final third and they're behind the ball. Bailey needs the ball where it's coming from half line, and Bailey's at like a little bit over the half line, and he gets space to move with the ball and run at defenders because that put defenders in two minds where they don't know if he's going inside or outside. If Bailey's just standing on the flank and you hit it out wide game, a defender can just close off the near post and the far post, just close him down. So the way how they're attacking at Aston Villa now has changed. I think they're going back to how he played at Liverpool, where it's that rigid, come down to the middle. We have a dictator in the middle. And then when we get in front of the 18, he spreads it out. But what that does is Bailey is not that type of player. Bailey need to get it and make defenders get confused, run at them and swing it in. And as a coach, Jamaica says, swing it in. You see me? I say at that Bailey have to do. But last night, let me just go back to Jamaica. Leon Bailey looked like he had a talk with Paul Hall, and Paul Hall said, "Yo, this is your team. You're one of the best talents that came out of Jamaica in the last 20 years. This is your team. No watch nothing. Go out there and be the Leon Bailey that we know you." The man he looked brave last night. Leon Bailey looked like he was just there for the taking. Like I'm here to win tonight. And we haven't seen Leon Bailey like that for Jamaica before. Me personally, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Shavan, what do you think about Bailey last night?
Italy was a different player. He was a different player last night. He actually looked. Cause even coming, I think this was his best game coming back from his last injury. Because he playing for Villa, he hasn't looked this explosive, running at defenders, like legit running at defenders. It was just unfortunate he never converted the chance that he
Him
had.
there dash a chance, him there dash a defender like crazy, man.
Yeah. It's just yesterday game was very good for him. It was a good game on his end. Um, One time they I hope him never do nothing for kind of aggravate him injury or for re-injure himself because the Salvador and they kind of lunge at him at one
Yeah,
chance.
yeah.
So all of that. So hopefully we get to see more of it. I want to see him play more at Villa as well because that will get his match confidence back as well. So hopefully we can see better from him. As I said, he had a very awesome game. To me, he was the man of the match for me. The clear man of the match.
I
Unlike the
think it was
formula.
Ravel. I think it was Ravel.
I think I would share it with both of them. They
I
look
think
like
Ravel did a little bit more over the entirety of the game for me personally.
yo family. You see that volley the Ravel kick?
Yeah, that was
What
going in.
up?
If that did go through, that would have been a spectacular goal.
The
A
stadium with a lift up.
Virgin, trust me, is a damn shame because Virgin, if the defender never did chuck him body and get a black Virgin, me I tell you that would have been a Puskas. That would have been nominated for Puskas goal of the year, Virgin. Me I tell you that would have go Ballon d'Or, Virgin. Me I tell you the goal. God, me I tell you that would have did score. If the defender never chuck back that the head straight in a lower corner, Virgin. That they are go score, Virgin.
Rajan, a troublemaker, and Rajan said, so Low no get nothing, JT. He no get no red card. Him no get no red card last night.
And get a foolish yellow though.
He no pick up no red
Yeah,
card.
yeah. Him never really look too comfortable on the left.
Yo, me know, me know how to solve the and Low red card problem.
Oh, kind of.
Me
What date
realized
you coming?
there was a eureka moment last night watching the game. I realized just when you're playing on the left side,
Mm.
him no him not feel free enough to charge up to go kick down somebody. No, I swear to God. Can you see a situation? He's a natural right footer. When the player come down the right side, like one look of voice in him head say, yo, pop in foot.
Uncle.
But when him up on the left, he look like he's thinking more about his positioning and doing the right thing. For some reason, I saw that last time. I said, okay, him now get a
A
red
bit more
tonight. You know?
tentative.
Yeah, him now get a red tonight. But if you put him on Javian Brown, them two madman up on the right, a Ukraine man, a war around them.
Right.
All right. For me personally, I think that Bailey had a decent first half, but I think the role tweaked for him in the second half a bit, where Paula realized that he needed to get this player more involved in the game, right? And that's where you saw, for most parts, he was occupying more of a wide channel, more of the wide channel in the first half, but in the second half, he was drifting a lot into the half spaces and into the central channel. He was more given more latitude to roam, so to speak, and also coming deeper as well to help to. Basically, I think Paulal wanted him and Ravel to link up as well.
Yeah, man.
And you saw that link up play and that creative spark on both those players feeding off each other and working well off each other. And I think we need to see that, link up between those players a lot more going forward. I also think that the free, I shouldn't say the free roll, but the more latitude to roam made it more difficult for El Salvadorian defenders to trap the movement of Bailey. And I think that was a big difference in terms of in the first half, they were closing him down a lot quicker, doubling up on him, double teaming him, right? And making it a lot more difficult for him to really spark. But when he was given that latitude to roam, they found it more difficult to track him. And Leon Bailey just exploded, man. Combined with that link-up play between him and Ravel, constantly breaking the lines, constantly, being that getting on the ball more, getting Leon on the ball more, with him roaming to be that creator / controller, like what Felipe Coutinho is doing at Aston Villa. Trust me, man. Bailey is, as I say, is not a coincidence that Bailey light it up in our first game.
No, man. You know why Bailey played so good last night to Formula? Bailey wanted to make a statement last night that he should be getting more playing time at Aston Villa.
True.
That was he wanted to get playing time on tape, showing that he's fit enough to remove the questions at Aston Villa. I think he did that. I think he did that. He went out aggressive. He went out like a player, like he went out with the mindset like, I play in the English Premier League, mate. Like,
but
JT, from minute one, the aggression. True.
But JT, even in the interview, the last interview, him say, yo, I am Leon Bailey. Like him say, yo, I mean him Leon Bailey.
Big baller.
I'm confident up, man.
Yeah, like him I say, yo, Virgin. They must style me too long. Me a baller, Virgin.
Me a no look soft soup. Me a no look blah blah. Me name Leon Chippy Baller. Bailey.
But gentlemen, it is important to note that if we were playing the kick and run down style,
God.
Yo,
we wouldn't stay that,
You're right, Chappy.
Get them
right,
Formula. Remember what I always say? We can't criticize. Remember what I always say? We can't criticize. Remember what I always say? We can't criticize Leon and the previous admin because most of the ball we play to him, I run him off for run it down. The ball not really come on him foot. And when it do come on him foot, he might get the ball at the top of our 18-yard box. So you don't really expect a man to dribble through this one. That I really get out at all costs. Something. No, he might get the ball in a dangerous areas, up the field more. Come and tell you, you see the Costa Rica game? Is anyone Leon there play the Costa Rica game? I feel would have been more. We think we'd have give them more trouble. You know why? we don't have somebody to take on the Costa Ricans and say, see, all of them want to sit back because the Costa Rican game will never really have nobody for say, yo, for dribble. Just dribble,
No,
dribble, dribble
no,
at,
nobody
dribble at
with
the
no
Costa Ricans.
spontaneous skill. No
Exactly.
spontaneous.
Yo, your memory good enough, Siobhan, cause brother, from a game gone, that done. Like, me even
Yeah,
remember what me in the Costa Rica game, brother.
gentlemen, I want to make an
Your memory
observation. During
good.
the game last night, you see, as me did I say, based on how me see the football about global, you know, even if you are as a player, even if you are your right foot is a strong foot, you should be able to make at least a 5 yard pass using your weaker foot. And there are a couple of times when I realized in the midfield that some of the players that they got the ball and a player was in a open position and they were trying to like put the ball on the stronger foot then to make the pass. So as Deacon rightfully saying, you see as a player, you know, the half season you have to do your own work, you know. You get what I mean? Because if you are always try to put the ball on your strong foot to make a 5 yard pass,
You're
then the
predictable.
opponent can easily figure you out. You understand? So we ball of them after get to that stage that them are gonna learn how to use them 2 foot. Even if them can't use them weak foot to make a long pass or kick a hard shot, but at least make a good 5 yard pass under pressure when you
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to know it, when Leon Bailey is fit, is when them kick him down, how fast him get up.
yes, sir.
But for you see Leon Bailey last night and them kick him down and him get up in a second. Me this is Leon Bailey not really come to play around last night. Rough
Yeah,
foul or
yeah.
no, he was just like, I'm in the game, them are gonna kick me down and let's go. Look at the previous game when them kick down Leon Bailey an hour before him get up off our surface, brother. So Leon Bailey he's ready to go, bro. He's ready to go. And under the previous head coach, as Chappie said, I think that was a brilliant point. Under the previous head coach, he never ran plays through Leon Bailey, and
Yeah.
that was strange. You have a
Yeah.
player from Aston Villa where you have him on a run down his sideline up and down and can't touch a football. That doesn't make
English
sense,
Premier
bro.
League player.
That doesn't make sense, man. But
Yeah.
formula, it's getting late, so I'm just gonna make my final point. 1:38 my time right now in Scandinavia.
Oh,
All
yeah.
I can say to you is this formula. The scoreline, if Jamaica picked up 3 last night and played the way we played, I would still be happy because I've seen all the things that we spoke about that we want to
Yeah.
see change. One,
Yeah.
how we press teams when they take the football from us. With Jamaica didn't run
True.
back. We get 10 players behind the ball if we try if it start defend with goal. Jamaica try if we
True.
get back the ball immediately in
True.
their area of the field. Another thing, Jamaica had so many build-up plays last night where we broke down their defense with build-up
Yeah.
plays coming out of our midfield. When was the last
Evaded
time
the
we seen that?
press.
The last
Evaded
time,
the press.
yeah, the last time that happened was when Tyreek Magee turned and opened up the Costa Rica defense and make a true pass. So last night they solved that for me. Andre Gray for me needs to start because Andre Gray is very unselfish and he gets
Yeah.
his midfielders involved in the game
Involved.
when
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
running full speed. He's not
Yeah.
gonna hold it up and direct the play somewhere else. He keeps the midfielder in motion and give him the ball in a good spot. So I think he's an intricate part of what we need to do going forward. But we have to solve this midfield with Speedy Williams. I think there is 2 weak areas right now that I see is Speedy Williams and Javane Brown. For me, those 2 areas, we need competition in those areas. And I think
True.
this is
True.
Paul Hall needs to build a team. The areas where we think players are not giving us the full throttle is where you bring in young players who can come and compete for that spot. And if those young players win the spot, you have a young player developing in that spot 5 years going on, and him can build up some consistency. So bless up yourself, Siobhan. Bless up Kappa.
Yeah,
Bless up
man.
Formula. I
Big up,
will
big
listen to you guys in my headphones, but I'm clocking off the MacBook. All
Yeah,
right,
man,
gentlemen.
Taylor. We
All
link,
right,
boss. Take
blessings.
care of yourself.
all the best, you know.
JT,
All right.
what you know?
Yeah, I
What do
forgot
you
WhatsApp
want?
him.
Yeah, man, what's up him?
All right. The last thing more have to touch on is the player ratings. Just want to run through quickly and do a player ratings. Seeing. The first player I want to start with, Damian Lowe. Make run through him stats quickly. Stats are on the screen. 90 minutes played, one clearance, one interception, tackles one, ground duels, 8 attempted, 5 successful, aerial duels, 2 attempted, 2 successful, possession lost 13 times, fouls 3. He was fouled on 3 occasions as well. 1 offside. He had 73 touches in the game. I know Jerry Miller would have excited for you about that. Big up, Jerry. And he attempted 55 passes, 46 were successful at 84%. 9 long balls in honor of such man. 4 of them were successful. 1 dribble attempt, it was successful. 1 big chance, missed. He also had 1 cross, and the cross was accurate. So, Kappa, what do you think about Damian Lowe? Good performance? What score the game out of 10?
All I'm gonna cut you, and he had a chance to bust them on them net. Although to me the offside, so it probably wouldn't get.
Yeah, me nah.
Big
So-
chance miss, man.
Me
The
nah.
one
But
big chance miss.
with the linesman never put up the flag, you know. From replay, it look close. So me nah go
Yeah,
say me that.
it did look just on. I think he timed the run. But to be fair, I think it was an excellent save though.
Yeah, at least him work the keeper.
Yeah, the
At least
keeper.
the shot on target.
Yeah, the keeper came off the line very quickly and made the save.
He's a centre half as well. No,
I think he did as good as he could, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, I think me not gonna wrong him for that. So Kappa, out of 10,
You never get a yellow card done.
yeah man, he get a yellow card, man.
You know, me gonna give him a 6, so me take off half a mark off. I give him 5.5.
5.5. Okay. Yeah, and it kind of look little uncomfortable up on the left. Shavan, what do you think?
Yeah, for Nana. I think me that give him a 6. I think me that give him a 7 still.
7? That
Yeah.
little high, man.
I think me that give him a 7. Man. Never really do nothing much.
Me that give him a
Defended well.
6.5.
I think me that give him a 7. Really and truly in a formula, we defended well.
To be fair, we never do bad.
Defended well. The only time that, like I said, our defense really was shaky was mainly in the first half when we were playing it out, and it was on King's side. Because look at them, their pressure with him. But Damian Lowe, every time them try to come up on him, you can see the midfielder him kind of get up when him start body feint and move people out of the way. So he never really play bad. To me, I think him should have taken more responsibility. The corner them, I think him should take a central role in the box when corner come across because he is the most aggressive player that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because I see him, every time I see a corner come across, it's like him just take one. Not a problem in marking one particular person, but I think he was probably one of the tallest person on the field, so he could have taken a central role. So anywhere the ball go, he could have attack and clear out. In my opinion.
Yeah.
So
Alright,
I don't think he played well. I don't think he made any defensive errors. The reason why I wouldn't give the one mistake I Mr. Damon really make was the time when he get frustrated and he made the tackle. We give him the yellow card. That was but other than that, to me, he played well.
To add to what you just said a while ago, the player from El Salvador who scored, that player is a very tall player. Some I expect low for mark.
Good point, Kappa.
You know, in terms of height, him go for the tallest and low king on the other.
To be fair, though, that player made a run from just on the edge of the box, So he that was straight off the training pitch,
That's why I said Damien to have a more central role. Because if he did take a more central role, he wouldn't really have a specific person. Because remember, you see, once you say you are mark one particular person, if that player run out of your box, you gone out of your box, Because your mind is entitled to say you are him, me, and Mark. Whereas if you have a more central role, You know, say the ball I go somewhere. You yourself as a defender, you're the tallest man, so you gotta go for it.
And I think as coach mentioned last night when we were talking, we never had somebody at the near post marking the near post. So that is another thing that let us down as well. We need to be more organized and set plays, man. We can't have so much big bodies and I concede so much from crosses and set plays.
And dribbling for come thump out the ball little. I'm not gonna lie.
You think so? No, sir.
The ball is basically the ball is there.
No, sir. That nobody nowhere near him.
No, man, I don't care what you say. When me a keeper in our family, so me a keeper. You see, once a ball drop anywhere near the region over my goal there, you're trying to go up, because one and I go for the ball and next and I go for your head,
Wasn't the square and out singer?
Yeah, make it even more. It don't matter to me.
Out singer.
Brother, ball as a keeper, as a keeper, those square the ball and make the ball drop nowhere close to my goal. Because I'm not allow nobody for jump. Because once me jump, my hand tall and everybody, me just want to put a hand to it and it gone about it business,
I have to look back on him. You don't want to blame it.
No, I'm not blaming him, but as I say, me personally, I would have go. Me, when I was a keeper, me did more reckless. Not giving away fouls, But you see, from the day when I learned, say, a keeper have a whole heap of rights in him box.
Yeah.
I'm never really afraid of pain. I'm never really afraid of pain. So me will go. It's all a 50-50. You make sure say you as the attacker, you make sure say you jump. Because me I go all in. When me I go all, me I go with my knee and me I go with my studs. So me I protect myself and I go for the no, Damian low. Remember saying keeper have him rights. I have to protect myself because I go for the ball.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Me personally, me would go for the ball. Not for catch it, but for punch it out.
All right, we're on the keeper now. Score the keeper. 10 out of 10. Kappa, where did I give Blake?
I'm going to give Blake a 6.5.
All right. Siobhan, where did I give Blake?
To me, Blake make 1.5 issue in the game. Remember the ball when I'm supposed to kick out, and because you don't know if you kick out ball good and you don't know if you're using left foot.
Yeah, and it did go. It did go for a corner.
But the thing is, Blake is not the type of keeper that is good at the ball at his feet.
No, that's what I have to say. That
imagine that man do a kick out in a bedroom and the ball go for a corner in a bedroom.
That and the goal, the one thing I'm always hear people really cuss him both him and when because him get a hand on the ball, the goal is scored. Him get a hand on the ball. As I said, I don't know the whole thing pertaining to like the speed of the ball there go. But him get a hand to it. I'm thinking if him did get a stronger hand behind it, I think him could have boxed it out. But that's not a him fault. But for me that give Blake 6.8 to 7. Because it makes some quality saves, but it never really have nothing for the whole game.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So I could read out map stat quick and fast. 90 minutes, 54 touches. No ground duels contested any at all. Interesting. 3 aerial duels contested, 2 successful. He lost possession 6 times. Right. 49 attempted passes, 44 were accurate. 4 long balls attempted, 2 were accurate. And 2 shots off target. I remember one of those in particular. By the way, I think Nana lost the ball a little bit too much for my liking as well. He lost it like 13 times or something like that. But anyways, guys, Kappa, your score for Max.
So I give him a 7.
You da give Max a 7, all right. Siobhan, where you da give?
7.5.
All right. Me da give him a 7.5 too. I think he was steady right through, except for one particular play. I think he was caught out of position down in the latter stages, but apart from that, I think he had a relatively decent show. By the way, me that give Blake a 7 as well. So yeah, but Maps was his usual steady self. Just a one play that where him kind of he wasn't where he was supposed to be when he was supposed to be there. All right, make a read out the big star baller Richard King now. 90 minutes played, touches 55, 2 clearances, 2 interceptions, 6 ground duels contested, 1 successfully won, 1 aerial duel attempted and he won it. I don't understand that. He lost possession 17 times. I don't feel
Tell
right.
you. But me tell
Yo,
Especially
you,
in the
Formula, me
first half.
tell
Yeah,
you.
man, it good one,
Formula,
especially in
me
the
tell
first
you.
half. Because Formula, you were going now. Remember, El Salvador had a baller which they substituted. Remember him name? Him did that press very well.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times at the games that
Yeah.
when the team come under pressure, King look very uncomfortable.
It's,
It's one of the reasons why I may say, yo, the local ball them have to work on them crap, but they have to try use try at least can make a 5 yard pass with them weaker foot. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Because when
exactly
the ball
because
come to King, there was a point in time of the game, I see the ball come to King, and I think it was barely open, and he might try to put the ball on the other side, on him stronger foot to make the pass. You understand? So, but there were other points in the game as well where him make some very good tackle and him wiggle past 2 people. But
Mm-hmm.
when him come under serious pressure from a high pressing team, you can see him not all that comfortable. But a work in progress, still. Work in progress.
Yeah.
Work in
But
progress.
but for,
but to be fair to him, he was the one tasked with playing out from the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he would have been under quite a bit of pressure right through more than any other defender.
Yeah.
So all right, let me finish reading out him stats. So possession lost 17 times, which is a whole heap of times your centre back lose it. Seen 1 foul. He was, and that's remember that a 17 possession lost in a very dangerous areas of the pitch. 43 attempted passes, 30 successful at 70% passing accuracy, 8 long balls, 2 successful, 3 dribble attempts, 1 successful. So Chopper, where you score for King?
So I give him a 5.5. Bro.
5.5. That low bad Chopper. Low bad. All right, Shavan, where you that get King?
see him score him up on the screen.
Mm. I thought he had a pretty decent first half showing and had some real sparks of creativity from out back, right? With some excellent passes as well. And some of them passes would have count for possessions lost. And while the passes weren't made, they were very good. Cause me see him make a pass one time. And me see the El Salvador and or it was like a cross, I think it was. And I see the El Salvadoran player make a lead the Virgin. The El Salvadoran centre back make a lead the Virgin.
Mm.
If it, like the man jump about 10 feet, Virgin, for take it out of here, Virgin. If that the pass that did connect, El Salvador would have any problems. Me that game, I think he had a good first half. I think he had a relatively quiet second half. Me that game a 6.5. That me that game personally. All right. We're gonna deal with the big star baller now, because we have to talk about. I know it feel we only barely mention him, but we're not really too rave about him performance, man. Man of the match, Ravel Morrison, 90 minutes played, seeing 60 touches, 44 attempted passes, 39 successful, 89% passing accuracy, 1 key pass, 6 long balls, 4 successful, 1 big chance created with Andre Gray when him send Andre Gray in behind and Gray miss it. Shots on target, 2 shots off target, which would have been inclusive of the one that hit the post, because say shots that hit the post are not counted as on target.
Target.
Yeah, and yo, the one shot on target I think was that bomber from with Leon Bailey off a corner, you know. One time Ravel knock it. Mercy. It's a damn shame that never find the back of it, man. Trust me, that would have been a Puskas goal a year or what. Um, Dribble attempts 2-1 successful. Hit the woodwork once. 7 ground duels attempted, 5 successful. Possession lost 9 times. Never seemed like him lose possession that much. But he was fouled on 4 occasions. 1 interception, 1 dribble pass. So, Kappa, you're great for the big maestro.
First time would have given him a 8 though.
Mm.
Yeah, man, I think him deserve a 8, man, because there were points during the game when he was coming back and he was tackling, you know, and all that work rate, everything for me a 8. For me a 8. I think he deserve a 8.
Yeah. All right, Shafan.
8 as well. Wasn't a perfect game, but he had a good game. I think his best game for Jamaica so far.
I think it was a perfect game. I'd give him a 9. I'd give him a 9. I mean, when you think about it, if that shot hit off the other side of the post, on the right side of the post, and if Andre Gray did put away that chance, Ravel could have easily have a goal and an assist in this game, plus him run the show. I'd give him a 9. That he had a brilliant game, man. All right. We'll move through it quickly and we'll soon finish. Speedy Williams, Shavan's favorite player. Minutes played 88. He had 65 touches. He attempted 57 passes. 53 was successful at 93% accuracy. 3 key passes. 3. Interesting. Seen 2 long balls attempted, 1 successful. 2 shots blocked. 1 dribble attempted was not successful. 5 ground duels attempted, 1 successful. Aerial duels, he didn't attempt any. He lost possession 6 times. 1 interception, 1 tackles, 1 dribble pass, 1 foul. So, Shavan, grade your favorite player.
See
Give him
because
a
me get
score.
that. You see because me get that brother. I'm not gonna give respect where respect is due still. I have an okay game, man. But I give him a 6.5.
All right, cool. Kappa, where you get Speedy?
I'm gonna give him a 6.5 though.
Need I give him a 7. I
No,
think he
yeah,
had
I give
a,
myself a man. No,
yeah,
yeah, I
man.
give myself man.
He had a steady game, man. He had a steady game, man. He had a steady game as always, man. All right. Make we move to another big baller. Javian Brown, 90 minutes played, 30, 50 touches, 1 assist, 30 attempted passes, 23 successful at 77% accuracy, 1 key pass, 7 crosses, none of them were successful. So what you call a cross with the goal? You don't call that a cross or you call it a pass or a
It's a
key pass.
pass. Pass
All
that.
right, cool. 5 attempted long balls, 3 successful, 1 big chance created, 4 ground duels, he won 2, 1 aerial duel contested, he won 1. You him lose possession whole heap of times too, 17 times he lost possession, 3 fouls, he was fouled once, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle. So Shavan, great for Brown.
6.5.
All right. Kappa, great for Brown.
You know, so I wanna give him a 7. And the primary reason for that is he provided an outlet for us down that flank. Although
True.
there were times when he never knew when to move. You know, in terms of his anticipation, there was some bit of confusion between him and I think Bailey. But he really provided an outlet. I think all he needed to do was work on crossing the ball properly. But
Yeah.
for his work rate and providing that outlet, I want to give him a 7.
Yeah. And I think that's a solid point about the outlet. I think people are really giving props in performance where that is concerned. Me that give him a 6.5.
Especially in effort.
Yeah. All right. Greg Lee. 90 minutes played, 43 touches, 27 passes, 27 attempted passes, 24 successful, 89% accuracy. 1 cross, it was not successful. 4 long balls attempted, 2 successful. 2 dribble attempts, 1 successful. I remember that one, it was a good run. Ground duels attempted 5, 3 were successful. 1 aerial duel attempted, it wasn't successful. He lost possession 8 times, was fouled once, interception once, tackles 1. Siobhan, where grade for Greg Lee?
All right, before I give him a grade, you realize one thing with Greg Lee, well, the game, Salvador really attacked on our left hand side.
Yeah, always down the right.
You know why? Because Greg Lee deserve a 7.
Why?
7 in a game.
All
7
right,
in a game,
cool.
general.
Kappa, where's about Greg Lee?
I remember that give him a 7 because some of those possessions that he lost were when he went up the field. And there wasn't really.
Trying to make something happen.
You're right, and I end up losing the ball, but defensively, it's very solid, man. Taxi game gone,
I know that honestly, me rate Amari Bell over Greg Lee, but me know no entertain that talk.
Ooh.
Well, me
Who you talk? Brother, I prefer Amari Bell over Greg Lee.
You said the games with Bell, me not recall. I don't really watch them games. I never did really watch them games, so I can't say. But at least we have 2 options. That's what I say. Taxi game gone still.
To me, Amari Bell, and
the best
then it
left
would
back,
have been
yeah.
Lee.
Yeah,
Amari
and then
Bell, then
Taxi.
Greg Lee.
And then Taxi.
Then
Yeah, man.
Zimenez, calm down.
Bell is doing well in the championship. He's the left back that we have playing at the highest level. He's the full back that we have playing at the highest level. But we just dash him away, man. Just dash away Bell. All right. Make we talk about the big star baller now. We already went in detail about his performance, but just to read out the stats and give a grade. 90 minutes played. He had 60 touches. When you say was barely have so much touches in a game, 60 for the Reggae Boyz. 60 touches, 31 attempted passes, 25 successful, 81% passing accuracy. Yo, 8 key passes in a Virgin. 8 key passes, 11 crosses, 4 successful, 6 long balls, 6 of them successful, all 6. 1 big chance created, 5 shots blocked, 3 dribble attempts, all 3 were successful. 7 ground duels that involved in, 6 successful. Lost possession a bit at times, but that's understandable given his role. He lost possession 16 times, was fouled once. No, fouled once, was fouled 3 times, 1 offside. And then you have to say miss a big chance too, because where's big? I don't see the stat for big chance miss. I'm gonna say the start for big chance miss.
Andre Gray met the team of the week for CONCACAF. Yes, he just come up.
Just Gray alone?
Yeah, Gray alone.
Wait, hold on. I don't know if I can put up on full screen. So Bailey and Ravel not make it, but Gray make it because he scored the goal. CONCACAF statistics are fooling in Shinaberchi.
You see, from the time when them say that brother they get team and get player, brother. When we hear that, I say,
Virgin CONCACAF statistics are big foolish. You watch the Reggae girls them with the statistics. So then says a Grenada, so the CONCACAF statistics on them YouTube channel. Says a Grenada outpossess the Reggae girls them.
Brother,
Ridiculous.
from the man them said that brother they get team of the week or team of the round.
Team of the team of the qualifying round, the World Cup qualifying round.
Yeah, that round them. I feel say,
All right. Make we talk about Green quickly. A player that I thought had a terrible first half, but had a very good second half. 71 minutes played. He had 32 touches, 2 shots on target, 3 dribble attempts, none of them were successful. 16 attempted passes, 12 were successful at 75% accuracy. 1 cross, it wasn't successful. 1 long ball, it wasn't successful. 11 ground duels contested, 3 of them. 2 aerial duels contested, 2 of them. Lost possession 11 times, was fouled 3 times. He committed 5 fouls. He had some careless fouls. I remember that as well.
some JPL foul.
Yeah, some JPL foul. That's that's the best way to sum it up. Kappa, great for Green.
So me dog give Green a 4, but you are going now. You see the start of the second half. Hold on now. You see for the start of the let me justify it, man. You see for the start of the second half, when him get the ball wide and him cut inside and him kick the shot. And that header that the keeper made a very good save.
Yeah.
And his overall second half play, I give him a 6.5.
All right, cool, that's fair.
And I think me did I say, yo, you see, when a player them when them come out of the local league and go to the international level, it's a level up, you know. So sometimes it's going to take them a while to adjust.
Yeah.
Even though he has a ball and very fast. Remember, you know, if you have that speed there, the lightning speed there, when you play football, you know, you have to know how to utilize it, you know.
Yeah,
And
true.
I have to learn now because you come up on next level now, so learn. And some players, the fact that they never start the game well, they would have just stayed in the entire match. And him never allow that to happen. You understand?
Yeah.
Coming to him in the second half. I love that for the ball.
Yeah. Shafan, where you Richard? No, Richard, Daniel Green.
I give him a 6.5.
All right, cool. Me agree. Me da give him a 6. The first half did too poor, Virgin. Me da give him a 6.
No, the reason why I give him the 0.5 is because him made the national team, so I'm a graduate for that. So you see me? Yeah,
All
but
right.
yeah, man, I'm not gonna kill him. The first half was really bad. I think Greg Lee made him actually look better than he actually played. Because Greg Lee saved a whole pile of blemishes. And it's something I always say, I can't understand if I'm me alone notice it. The simple fundamentals is missing from some of our local players.
Yeah, man, that's facts.
Passing, especially control. I don't understand it. Like, I wonder for the feel. Why we can't control
By
back
the
up.
way, Ravel spoke about the feeling.
The feel again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
but
That's what I
all
say.
some decent leather up our home feeling, we have to improve it.
You see, as long as the field is owned by so when I go really talk, I know when I because it's not a track and field, it's not a track thing, you see me? The only reason why the field looks so and when the match with the discus, them know want the discus make no loud noise when they drop the mount it go just and poof on some grass. The field enough for football. Track and field place that.
All right. Make take a look for Andre Gray quick and fast. 90 minutes played. He had 17 touches. I would like our centre forward to have a bit more touches than that. He had 1 goal, 1 shot on target, 1 shot off target, 2 dribble attempts, both successful, 1 big chance missed. 11 attempted passes, 9 successful at 82% passing accuracy, 2 key passes, 1 attempted long ball, it was successful. 3 attempted ground duels. He was successful in 2. 1 attempted aerial duel. He lost possession 3 times, 1 offside. He was dribble pass on 1 occasion. So Kappa, great for Andre Gray.
All right. If you never kick the ball over Cuba, would I get a 8.5?
Yeah.
Give him a 7.
Yeah.
I give him a 7. Man, if the ball drop it. The ball drop it.
Yeah. Him never ain't get little too excited, man. All right. Shavan, great for Andre.
7.3.
Yeah, boss couldn't put it up at 5, man. 7.3. Me, the missed chance really and truly kind of diminish him.
Not even a mischance for me.
Him just never involved enough. All right. Me personally, me that give him a, me not feel like give him a 7.5, but me not feel like give him a 7 either. Me
So
agree
give him a
with the
7.3.
Me agree with the 7.3. Me agree with the 7.3. All right. I'm going to look on the statistics of one of the substitutes. Yo, a 2 substitution alone we bring on, you know.
I'm tell you who are the biggest substitute to come on. Who are the biggest substitute of the night. I'm gonna give him a 9.5.
Who that know?
You don't know who already, man. One college man. Nazimin
But Zimin is not touch a field, Beji.
17-year-old I put on a national jersey.
But the man not touch a field, Beji.
I'm telling you, man. I joke
If you be eligible for play for another country, you know, you still could have get snatched up, you know.
Brother, if Jimenez could have played for US, Mexico, or Canada, you not see him have on a Jamaica jersey. I can guarantee people that. Because that is what you call potential. People will say you're too young and him a play with kids, but when somebody have the potential as to him have, other teams allow them to express it and then put them in situations for them get used to it. So to me did want to see him come on. Honestly, me honestly believe Jimenez he come on. If he play the next match and then play bad, then fine. But right now, me have a feeling if he came on, especially in the last 10 minutes, he would have put some pressure. Because remember, you know, when Jimenez running, you know, and it's not like him weak, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Him have the strength of a big man, you know.
True.
So it's easy for push him off and ball. Easy for even. I don't know if him even easily intimidated. Because every time I see him, he always have a smile on him face. Him always a player happy.
Yeah.
Because I know that he would have put some pressure upon the El Salvadorians. Even the Pearson brother, I guess I see him play for Casey. The way I see him play a dominant figure. Him have him look like to me him have the strength. But we just don't know when me just say, we don't know which part me that put him on the field. And that's just the only thing with Pearson. Unless we that drop. Well, I don't know sure me that put Pearson. But me not think Bygrave came. Well, when I do that. But yeah.
All right, make a look on Bygrave stats now. 19 minutes played and him bust towards the end. What a shame. But 7 touches, 4 passes, 4 attempted passes, 2 of them successful at 50% passing accuracy. 1 long ball attempted, it was not successful. 3 ground duels attempted, 1 successful. 1 aerial duel attempted, it was successful. He lost possession 4 times. 4 times in a 19 minutes with 7 touches. No, boss, that's not acceptable. 1 foul, he was fouled once, and that's it. Kappa, you're great for Bygrave.
I give him a 5.5.
All right, Shavan, wait. Oh, you're not done, Kappa.
We have something to do with the goal, no, sir?
Yeah, man. Him did provide the
part
linkage
of
and
the
the hold
play.
up play for
Yeah.
break the midfield line on the
But
goal.
otherwise, you can see that if a lack of fitness or just the occasion, because sometimes the ball of them can fit, but just the occasion,
Yeah,
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 all against them still, but
yeah,
good
yeah.
effort still, good effort. Love the effort. You could have done
Shavan,
it.
how much a game? 5? All right. No words need to be said.
The reason why I'm getting the 5 is not the reason why it wasn't lower because of the whole of play towards the
Hold up
goal.
on the goal.
And honestly, me not think him did this the way him control the ball, me not think I descend you want to go initially because him control the ball bad. So
Bridget, they couldn't give man in props, man. You they have to try
formula
to steal the man glory,
formula
Bridget.
me not start feel formula you have me hurt, Is that next World Cup that we're not going to you realize that?
Shavan say man never even intend to put the ball there. So, Bridget, not do him on that, man. Come on, not do him on that, man.
Alright,
Never
alright.
do him on
Because
Shavan.
me hate the JPL still. Because honestly, me would carry him. Me would carry Bemba over him. Honestly. Me would carry Bemba over him. Yeah, me
Yeah,
would carry Bemba over him.
Bemba has been decent so far.
Me would carry Bemba over him.
Yeah.
But honestly, me would give him a
Bemba
5.
was supposed to be another prodigy in Shavan. You remember Bemba? No
Bemba.
STGC music up.
Based from what me hear, I don't know if I true, nobody beat me, but me hear them choose the wrong club, and because of that, it kind of affected him, isn't it? So
Yeah, Bemba was supposed to be another prodigy, man.
you remember Mr. Morgan? You remember Marvin Morgan?
Yeah, man, a whole heap of them, man. Yeah, man, remember Marvin Morgan, man. Remember Marvin Morgan. All right. And me that say Ramon Howell, I think it was too short of a performance to really grade him, but I did think that he had some very good touches when he came on. He had about 3 or 4 touches on the ball, and they were very, very, very good touches, to be fair to him. Seen? All right. So we're getting out of here now. Just final thoughts from the gentleman. Just final thoughts about anything really that you guys want to just touch on before we get out of here.
Yeah,
Kappa,
man.
got you.
Because myself don't have to cut. But I say still, good performance. I would say we appreciate the fact that we are still a style of play. And one thing what I want to say is that even when they come up against a better opposition, we just continue to utilize the style of play and nobody revert to the long ball subject. It will be interesting. It will be interesting to see how well the players cope with Canada come Sunday. Because I figure that Canada, if they need only a point, they're not going to take any chances. They're going to put us in the ice box.
Yeah.
After a man left in bush at Jamaica for the first time and going to ice box on a play field, after affect him. Remember,
Yeah.
98 campaign, we usually play pretty much a midday out there.
Yeah.
Gain an advantage, So Canada utilize the advantage. Yeah. The same thing to Mexico. I think another team. So I'm gonna do the same thing to we, I think. So it will be
Yeah.
interesting to see how well the players cope with that. Not just the weather, but a good team.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Better than El Salvador.
Far better. Yeah. Shavan, your final thoughts, my bro.
Not pleased with the game yesterday. Um, it had some good individual performances. The team is playing better from the last game. From the last game, I saw where the team. You can see that the team has a plan to really possess the ball. My biggest issue is that we're still not winning because it has been for since last year. We only win like what 3 games since last year.
The Guadeloupe game, the Suriname
Suriname
game,
game
and the
and
Honduras game.
those are the only 3 games that we've won.
Yeah. In
So
a year and almost a half.
I understand. Well, persons will say them happy because of how them see the team and play, Well, yeah, I forgive credit in that the team is playing better, but the results is what matters.
And
I'm gonna
Nick
say,
was
as I'm gonna say, my spirit's still gone from the Mexico game. So, I just watch a football. Cause even yesterday when the goal score formula, you know me now want to go on with goal score. Brother, me not
Yeah.
taxi. Me
But
not
he's still
taxi.
excited though. But it's still excited.
When the
He
goal
jumped.
score, me and I taxi, I'm a virgin. I said to me, say, yo, oh, the goal offside. I say, no, man, give man. I say, why? I say, why? Man say, 2 minutes, see, I jump up on nothing. I say, oh,
Yeah.
I'm tired for celebrate for Jamaica goal right now. 'Cause every time I remember the El Salvador game, you remember the Mexico game, you remember the
Yeah.
Panama game.
Yeah.
What happened after we start celebrate? So, once we win a game, it's good that we are possessing the ball now. We are feel looking more comfortable on the ball. I'm glad to Leon finally finding place in the team.
That's the
Glad
biggest positive.
I'm glad that because you can even in the second half yesterday, we can still like Leon literally I say, yo, brother, I'm my team.
Yeah, man.
I not care about Ravel, I not care about them man. I'm my team. I'm mini and Mr. Jamaica. So guess what? Give me my ball, I'm gonna show you what I can do. And you can see the El Salvador. Every time him get the ball, two El Salvador and run him. So I'm glad for that. So that's what I'm very happy for. That's one of the main positives. I never like the whole interview thing where Mr. Paula do the whole commitment. I don't want to really hear that word there again. I think it breeds too much negativity.
True.
I think it breeds too much unnecessary negativity. You see, unless you have to call a man name directly, but when you just throw it out so
Yeah.
anybody who never did it can just pick it up and say, I wonder if I me my talk. So I
And
like that
the fans, it leave a lot of speculation and
I like that whole thing there because it cause division again. That's something we are trying to avoid. We need the camaraderie. If a man don't show up, just say, all right then, we're gonna play for make you see what you miss. Don't say commitment. I don't like the word that it bring too much negativity. I realize it and it separates the fans as well. Because
Yeah.
the big argument to me here when the whole Antonio never come the first time, it separate the local fans them. Well, the fans them will support the local player them. It cause a divide this up. When Shamar never come, it cause a next divide again. So me no want to hear that commitment word. If a player don't want to come, all you have to do, perform well for make him see say miss something and make him know say in order for him to come back, he have to perform, him have to do better. That's all we have to do. Just stop using commitment word. And JFF still out. JFF still out.
Still out. All right, so guys, that's about it. Unfortunate result yesterday. One of our best performances in quite some time.
Sorry, Formula, I'm leave there.
Yeah, man, Kappa, big up.
Oh, big up,
Yeah, so
yeah, man.
yeah, so just unfortunate we couldn't bring it over the line, but it was a very, very good performance for sure, and a lot of positives to take away from it, especially given the fact that Leon Bailey performed very, very well, and also Ravel Morrison, really stood up and was counted as well. So, guys, that's about it. Other channels doing lives at this time as well. So you guys can go over there and support those channels as well. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Look out for more content with previews and stuff like that of the upcoming Canada game. Take care and stay safe, and until next time.